It wouldn't be a normal stream if I didn't forget to turn my mic on. So let me start this all over again. Hi, everybody. My name is the Unknown Prophet. My name is Joshua Bleasy. I do daily tarot readings between 9 a.m. and 12 p.m. Central Standard Time, Monday through Friday, every day except today. Today is a special stream. We will be taking a couple of readings here and there, guys, but I will be taking them as I go. I'm not going to promise to get to your reading right away today. Today is a promotional stream for my 5 Pass Tarot. Now, I have to let you know that I did not complete my Kickstarter campaign. I did not accomplish my funding goal. So, as of today, we start the ball rolling towards creating the deck, but it's going to take a lot longer because I have to start to save money for it. Yes, I went through all of my money. Yes, I spent a lot of it. I went through a lot of money, guys. I'm not going to lie, but we got a lot of things we needed taken care of with that money. And I'm not going to lie, we enjoyed ourselves thoroughly with it, okay? So, I'm not going to say I don't feel a tiny bit guilty for going through it all, but just that much. Just a tiniest bit. And I have something to show you guys today that I wanted to show off. So today we're going to be explaining, I'm going to tell you guys the story of how I came to learn the 5 Pass story. We're going to show off all of the cards and tell you all of the meanings. I'm going to be doing a special giveaway or giving you an opportunity to buy something today if you want to buy it. Now, this is just an exclusive, one-of-a-kind deal, guys. You will be getting the ultimate Unknown Prophet prize package. Now, I'm talking the ultimate package. You're going to get the following things, and I have to do something. I'm going to be putting something out there to kind of tell people what it's about, because it's going to be something we're going to give it a little bit of time here. We have to come up with a date that we can all be comfortable with. I was thinking maybe Beltane, the 1st of May, that's when things are supposed to come into this world and be reborn and be reinvigorated and stuff like that. So May 1st may be my day of, we're going to start saying it's time to raise the money, but I'm going to be putting a prize package together, and I'm going to show you what you're going to get today, but I'm going to be putting a little bit better flyer and stuff like that. I still got to do some signing. I've still got to do some work on it because it's going to be a one-of-a-kind exclusive collector's thing, okay? So, and I will show that off to you all today as well. So, anyway, we're going to wait a little bit for some people to get in here and stuff like that because, usually people are used to getting in here and they're getting their readings and stuff like that. And, today is my celebration of the 5 Pass Tarot. So, let me tell you a little bit about me, okay? First of all, my real name is Joshua Adam Bleasy. I don't care if you guys know my real name here. I use the Unknown Prophet because that's who I am as a magical person. That's who my magical persona is. Now you might ask yourself, what's the difference between Joshua Bleasy and the Unknown Prophet? There is no difference. The Unknown Prophet is just me being the best possible self I can be. My inspiration to be the best possible version of me I can be. I accept all that I have within me, the good, the bads, the uglies, and everything in between. Now, originally, when I had a very special dream that would tell me about my future. Now, you may have heard my dream story before. So we're not going to go over the dream again. We're going to skip right to where the 5 Pass started. But I have to start with the Covenant of the Standing Stones. Now, I can only say that name, and I can't associate any other names with that. But they're a public entity, so I can say that, okay? They were my home. They were my family. We parted ways because of my personal journey was going a different direction. Their personal journey was going a different direction. Yeah, there were some yelly, screaming moments in there. But you know what? I try to walk in perfect love and perfect trust away from all of that. And try to live in a life where I can live in the peace and harmony that I need in my life. So, I originally started my journey with the Covenant of the Standing Stones. I started taking Wicca 101 classes when I was just a baby witch, okay? Because I hadn't been a witch for, let's say, up to about 35. When I turned 35, I became and dedicated myself to the craft of the wise, or became a witch, or self-proclaimed witch at least, According to them, I'm a natural, but you know what I'm saying? You know how it goes sometimes when you're thinking about your journey and how you're going. Now, I have to tell you, at this point in my life, I have not met my wife yet. I'm still very unconfident of myself. I'm very still kind of shy and introverted a little bit there. I haven't gained my spirit quite yet because I hadn't even become a witch yet. I was still exploring it. I was reading books, and my first experience ever to the craft was a book called Silver Raven Was Solitary Witch. That was my first experience to the craft. After the TV kind of boogity boogity boogity, let's play pretend for 5 seconds, because you know what? I was kind of struggling with faith, and I was struggling with what I believed in and stuff like that, because before that I had a god that I had made up. His name was called Unison. Now, Unison was the guy at the end of the dream that I had when I was 8 years old. So I don't know if you guys need me to go back that far. I'm kind of asking for some feedback here. How far back do you want the story to go here, Mr. Savage? Anybody out there who can give me a little bit of a heads up there of what you guys want to hear? And even if you aren't here to hear this story, we're going to go there, okay? So let's start from the beginning. Had a dream. The dream told me about my future. The man at the end of the dream was my future self, named Unison at the time, telling me all about what was to come. Now, in the future, about a year and a half later, about a couple days later, that's when I started to hear the voices in my head. That's when I started getting what are called guides or imaginary friends at the time. That's what they were to me. But I went in and I did all the psychological testing because I thought I was going crazy. I thought these voices in my head were going to make me do things I didn't want to do. And then the best, most brilliant, beautiful psychologist or therapist told me this: as long as the voices aren't telling you to do bad things, listen to them. The second they start telling you to do things to harm people, that's when you need to come back to me and talk to me. But if they're just telling you to help people and make things better for people, then you should listen to them. AKA, my psychic journey begins. Now, we get to about 16, where I start to lose faith of any kind. I don't believe in God. I don't believe in anything. I stopped going to church because I wasn't forced to go anymore. I was never converted to their religion, even though I was baptized and all that crap. I never took communion. I never did all of that other stuff because, I'm sorry to say, Christianity just didn't feel like the right fit for me. I love the story of Jesus. I love Jesus Christ. I think he is a savior of this world. I'm not quite sure about the Son of God part, but hey, we all believe that, so I believe that when we believe something to be true, the gods up there make it true. So even if it wasn't true to begin with, it is true now. You know what I'm saying? Because we've put so much will and intent into that. And I didn't find my home in that faith. I thought about the forgiveness and found about the sacrifice part and found about the do unto others and other things. I took the things that I really liked about the faith and I took it and I said, this is part of what I believe in. Then I believed in nature. I loved nature. I was a kid in the forest more than anything. I grew up in a time where we were just starting to get the video game kind of a thing. So we had to go outside and play outside in forest and in the cornfields and go make our own fun. I know you could all say, you're so old. A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, I was an old young man. I grew up in the 80s where technology was just starting to come about. So I didn't exactly have the time to sit there and go boogity, boogity, boogity on the computer screen. Although when computers did come into the mix, I was one of those kids who was on the computer the first time. I did learn a lot about computers when I was young, but because I didn't stay with it, I lost a lot of that information. So I'd say I'm an intermediate computer person at best. But back to the story. So losing my faith, losing all faith in any kind of religion, I made my own religion up. So I loved nature, so I thought I had to embrace nature. I love the Native American ways. I really adopted to their belief system and believing and taking only what you need from the earth and giving back and giving to the earth. And then I took the lessons of Christ and compassion and all of that stuff and put that into the mix. And then I found Buddhism, and then I found the Quran, and then I found Wicca. Because I went through a couple of them, and I read the Torah as well. I read the Quran, I read the Bible, I read the Buddhist Manifest, I read the ancestry of some of the information I could find out about how ancestors are worshipped in other parts of the world. I wanted to get a broader idea of what faith and religion meant. So And I know you're saying, what does this have to do with the deck? It has everything to do with the deck. Because without me losing that faith and finding that unison within myself, where I had to learn how to bring both of my parts of who I was together, because there was a part of me that thought that I was only able to be a bad person or only able to Google. As a kid, something in my brain just couldn't figure this out. So I had to do a lot of psychological working through, a lot of learning how to manifest my destiny, how to become aware, how to adapt, all of that stuff. And I threw all of this together. Oh, and the Knights of the Round Table and their code of ethics. And I threw in a little bit from the Quran, a little bit from the Torah, all those things. I found all the parts that I really liked about all of them, and I called that faith unison. Now, unison is pretty much as close to Wicca as you can possibly get without naming it Wicca, okay? Everything I believed in that faith matched up. So when I start reading this book, Solitary Witchcraft, just for kind of fun, honestly, it starts to hit home in me. And I start thinking about all of what I've been through in my life. And it starts to manifest this change in me that I didn't even know I needed. I didn't know I had to re-embrace the freedom of my life. In fact, I had to go to this coven, the Coven of the Standing Stones, to find out what freedom actually meant to me and why I felt so trapped my whole life, right? And as we start to move on to our story now, I start to join this group because now I'm ready. I've been about a year and a half. I've dedicated myself to the craft, or became a witch, as they like to say. Or just like you would take communion and become a Baptist and stuff like that. I had a ritual called an awakening ritual, or some of us call it, a dedication ceremony. So I dedicated myself to my Lord and Lady, to the craft of the wise, to the path that I chose, and everything that I had put into that religion, I had added to the Wicca faith as well. So not only do I add everything else that unison used to be, I now add Wicca into the mix, and then you kind of get what I believe in, okay? Okay, that's why I don't really have a denominational faith preference. Even my own faith, I know what I believe, but I know that's not right for everybody. So in this class here, I start taking class of Wicca 101. Basically, I've learned most of this already through the book, but because it's more of a social aspect, it's more of a let's learn together aspect. Hey, Jessa Tarek, moderator in the chat, the OG, the original, the one who got this whole party started. Jessa Tarek, I want to dedicate this one to you. Thank you for everything you did, because you are the reason I am doing this right now. You bought me the camera I needed to show my cards off. You helped me get my setup ready. You helped me get a lot of stuff going on in chat. So I just want to say a big thank you to Jessa Tarek. He was my first moderator, my first follower, my first friend, and we still to this day keep in contact. He's my OG guy, so you better treat him with respect or he will sword your ass. Not really, but you know what I'm saying. And I know that was something you felt compassion to do for me at that time. That's what my life has been about. My life has been about being the hero, being someone who can be remembered, someone who has a creative nature. You see how many creative things I've done in this world. I have done so many creative things. In fact, I couldn't list them all off to you in one stream. I'd have to do 2 or something like that. Maybe a 12-hour stream. I might be able to get through everything I've ever created. But that's a long list, guys, okay? I spent a lot of money on a lot of other people who never really gave me my just desserts, but that's okay, because I was never a guy about the money. I've never been about the money. I love money. Money helps me get the nice, fun things I want, but it's never been really important to me because I grew up poor. I grew up poor. I was used to learning how to survive in the things, in the places and people and things. So I want to show you guys, and anyway, so I'm in this class, right? And I'm going to this class with the Standing Stones. And in this class, there's a certain class called divination, right? And we start to create our own divinational tools. First, they take some random objects off of your desk. You're going to get this tube here. You're going to get the brass monkey, a nice full cigarette, right? I'm just going to take these 3 items just for an example, okay? So the empty cigarette, is what you need to fill yourself with, in which direction it's pointing. The full cigarette is what you're full of, right? The brass monkey is where that power needs to go. Is this the front where I need to take it in, or is this the part where I need to put something in to draw it in, and where do I need to blow it out to make sure it doesn't stay in there in the middle, right? So you take all three items and you go, Goddess, tell me what I need to know, and you've assigned meaning to these things, and you drop them on the phone, okay? And then you would read this as like this. I'm just going to give you an example here, okay? So let's say the brass monkey represents you and your life and what you need to do, right? So if the full cigarette is pointed away from the sucking part, maybe that's telling me I need to apply more zest of life to drawing in the zest of life. You put your own divinational meanings and you try to look at it. Now, like I said, I wish I had like a penny or something else to go along with it. Here. Okay, so here we go. We got a screw. We've got a beginning and end. You get a couple of pieces here, and you assign names to all of these things, and then you kind of drop them on the ground. You shake them up, and you say all these things mean something, and then how you drop them down and how you see them laid out would show you what that divinational mean. It's called rune casting. Well, that was my first experience towards it, right? Then they said if the best thing you can ever do in the craft is create your own tool. And we were talking about divinational tools. And I said, well, maybe I'll just make my own tarot deck someday. You know, in my head, it was a funny little ha 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 moment for me, right? And then I wanted to create this deck. Now we have to go back now because I have to explain the story, the whole story of the 5 paths now, and where it came to the lesson that I learned, because that has to be told before we can get into the what happened after I'm starting to make the deck, and then we'll start to explain things. But before we do that, I'm going to show off my special surprise for someone, and this is going to be an exclusive on my Patreon only. So you have to be a Patreon member to get this exclusive, one-of-a-kind collector's item from me, okay? First of all, you will get the original book that I created from the 5 Paths Tarot, okay? This is the original wording, the original stapling, everything that came with it, okay? It even looks dirty because it's been used. So you're going to get the dirty, used, one-of-a-kind, I've handled it kind of a deck. You're going to get a card. If I can find said card. Okay. You're going to get a special tarot reading card, 1 of 10, that says, have the best day ever. This is the only one that will be signed with my saying, have the best day ever. So that one goes in it. Then you get this certificate of authenticity. You can even see that it was spelled wrong and everything, and it was kind of done wrong, but you have a receipt for the original printing of the pages you're about to see, signed and dated, 1 of 32 pages, all of that stuff. And then we have the ultimate prize here. Uncut, unput out sheets of paper that say all of that, which my whole deck is, all the meanings, everything is in here. They're all signed and dated. I still have to go through and do like the 1 through 32 thing to make sure that they're a part of this prize. So you'll get the certificate of authenticity. You'll get the pages, which are about 32 pages there. You'll get the card. You'll get the book. And then you'll get your choice of one of my paintings. And in the future, you will get a copy of the 5 Paths Tarot when it is officially printed with the new meanings and everything. That is going to be the prize pack that I'm going to be putting together. Okay, so that is the prize pack. So I have a couple pieces of art here, and I will let you guys choose that. I will put those out, and I will put something together to show you what the prize pack will be. And then this will all get sent to you in a nice, nice presented way, so that these pages can be sealed and ready for you. If you want them to be a true collector's item, I can make them sealed for you so that they stay that way, stay nice and fresh. If you don't want me to seal them, let me know. Kind of looking for a little bit of things like that going on. So now that I've kind of showed you what the prize pack is going to be somewhere in the future, Now that's if you're interested in that. That will probably go for about $100 to $150 depending on what I'm going to do with that, because it is going to be an exclusive thing. Plus, I'm going to include shipping and handling in the price and stuff like that too. So, um, so now, are we ready for the story that started it all, or the experience that started it all? I hope you guys are, because we're going to start to share that in just a little bit. You know, before this lesson, I truly was a lost soul. I couldn't find, I didn't know who I was as a person. I didn't believe in my destiny. I didn't know how to carve my own fate. I was depressed beyond depressed. I mean, clinically should be in a hospital kind of depressed. Anxiety clinically should be in a hospital anxiety. I shouldn't have been working, but I did work. You know what I'm saying? Kind of a deal. And being so lost in not knowing who I was, what my faith was, what my purpose was, all of that junk that a lot of us start to worry about and think about that. Join the club, still am. Yeah, welcome on in. Welcome to the club. Welcome to the stars, Bumble. Hey, I'm sorry I did not say hi to my first time chatter. Bumble, welcome on in. I'm the Unknown Prophet. Good to see you, dude. Great to see you there. And the only way you need to join the club there is that's going to go on the Patreon. So I will put that together. Hopefully by next week, you will see that on the Patreon. So I still got some work to do to make sure that prize package is available for anybody who wants. And it will be a $3 entry to try to win, or it will be a one. It will be a first come first serve basis. Whoever buys it first gets it first kind of a deal, and it'll go out for a one of a kind. Like I said, maybe $150. I think that's fair for all of that stuff. So, but you know, I'm still kind of wondering what I'm going to do with all of it, because they are original pages. They are the original, you know, the original deck and everything, right? So, are we ready for the story? And yeah, I know what you're saying. I know what you were saying. I was just, you know, joining the club is a great thing for me. That's why we have the stars down there. You are, once you get in here, you start chatting, you start being a part of my community. We love to help people here, so welcome on in. We're here to support you, shout you out, make your streams better, connect my community with your community. We're here to do awesome free tarot readings, which we're kind of closed down right now because we're doing a just chatting stream. And a lot of the people who would normally come in here are, please call me B. Okay, B, you got it. Nice to meet you. No more dude, please. I'm about afraid. I don't know what AFAB means. I'm sorry, I don't know all the acronyms. Okay, my B, how are we doing? I call everyone dude. I call everyone that. Okay, sorry. I kind of figured that's what you meant, but, you know. Okay, my lovely lady, my queen bee. How about that? Hey. Anyway, welcome on in, young lady. Thank you very much for your patience, and thank you for letting me know your pronouns. I appreciate that. Like I said, when I see a name like Bumblebee, I don't know if that's a guy or a girl's name. That could be boy, that could be girl. So, you know what? I just call everyone dude. It's just my way of going about and doing it. So, you know, dude, hi, person, whatever. Everyone's a dude to me. Hey, dude. You know, I grew up in the, hey, whoa, dudes. You know, so I use dude a lot. So now we're going to get to the actual lesson that I learned. The 5 paths lesson that I learned before I even created the deck. So, backstory is massively depressed, no faith, no purpose. I hate my life. I hate myself. I hate everything about it. I haven't even considered that the destiny and person that I will become somewhere in the future, which is me right now, will actually happen. I think that I will die before the next year runs around, because I thought that I would die around 35 years old. And quote unquote, my wife was actually dying, or my soulmate was actually dying around 35 years old. Now, if you believe in the whole soulmate thing, if your soulmate and you're truly connected to that soulmate, connected to that soulmate and stuff like that, if you're truly connected as souls, you will die together. You will die close together. But just like, your mother and father, the closer they die, if one goes in front of the other, one's going to die rather sooner than later, unless they have a really, really, healthy outlook on living life to the fullest, because that's what they know their spouse would want them to do, kind of a deal. It's all a personal issue, kind of a deal, right? Right? We all know that. And I was, I'm a creature of the forest. I'm a creature of nature. Being lost, confused on a day where I just felt the lowest I could ever feel in my life, okay? We had just moved to a new home in Robbinsdale, Minnesota. I was finishing off my high school years there and realizing that part of my youth from 1990 to about 21, 1990 to 2000, maybe one or two. That's when we lived there. And the thing about it is that when we moved there for the first time, like I said, there's this nice little park right down here by where we live. We live right here on the corner house here. So if this is the park here, okay, this is the park right here, okay? And we are the house that lives right by here. Okay, we're like right here. And the forest and the trees and the other park is like right back behind here somewhere, okay? So I am like, this is where the major park is. So I walk in through this park up a hill to get to where there's some railroad tracks. So let's just pretend that this little line here is the railroad tracks. I cross the railroad tracks onto the other side, which is a no. Honestly, you're not supposed to be going on railroad tracks and crossing them. You could die. It's a dangerous thing to do. Don't do it unless you absolutely have to. And make sure if you do have to do it, look right, look left, look right, look left, look right, look left, and listen for at least 2 minutes before you cross that bitch. Or cross fast. Because I don't want you to go... Yeah, well, I'm not trying to tempt you, okay? Trust me, there were moments when I thought about that. Honestly, at that point, I was very suicidal. I'm a 7-time suicide survivor, Bumble. I'm sorry. I will get used to saying just B. I just like see the first name and I go, whatever thing. So, and as I'm trying to find my purpose, the meaning of who I am, the everything that I need, right? I decide to go exploring because I'm feeling lost, I'm feeling confused and stuff like that, right? And as I start to walk up to this park and cross those railroad tracks, I've always been a person who trusts in his emotion, trust his feelings, right? Even though I didn't know what some of these things were meaning me to do at the time, I still listen to the voices in my head. Ever since that psychologist said, as long as they're not telling you to do bad things, you can probably listen to them. Well, that's what I started doing. I started to embrace that. As long as they told me to help people, as long as they told me to do stuff that was beneficial for everybody, I would listen to them. And and I was so lost, so confused, Bumblebee. And I went into this forest and I found something beautiful there, and it wasn't just the forest, okay? And here's where we get to a little bit. I got to draw a card out here so I can show you something here real quick here, because this is the first thing I see, and it's one of my cards for a reason, because without this moment, this deck really doesn't exist. Let me get these out too. We're also going to show off the cards today, and we're going to probably explain everything to you. So we will show off the whole deck today as well. I'm just getting some things here to show you. All right, I believe that's all of them. I think. Let me double check. I'll know. Gotta make sure these cards don't get mixed in with those. That's part of the other thing I'm going to show you off today here. So, here. Okay, wait. Yep. Okay. Yep. 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 Okay, so we got a wandering path past, wait, easy, hard, unseen, hope, deep, willow, and okay, now that I got my cards all designed out here so I can show you, all right, my tarot again this morning, I do it every day and keep telling me the same thing. Well, that's because you're not listening. You're not learning the lesson those cards are trying to tell you here. And this lesson will help you. And maybe will help you make these choices. The first thing I had to do, or the first thing that I see here, okay, I'm going to put this light down just a little bit so you guys can actually see the cards a little bit here. I'm trying to fix my camera, so please be patient with me. And I'm going to show you guys the cards a little closer too. So this is called the Witch's Tower, okay? This was the first thing I see entering. Hey, well, blessed be my sister. Welcome in, Witchy Beth. Hi, that's my wife there. That's the one true love of my life right there in chat there. That's Witchy Beth. That's my wife. So everyone can say hi to Witchy Beth for me. And this is the Witch's Tower card, okay? And this is the first thing I see after crossing the railroad tracks and going down a path a little bit. This little place here was my first experience to the forest and the things that are going on. She's also my mod. She's my VIP, but she should be my mod. But she's also kind of a mod. I should give you mod powers. I wonder if I can do that. I can't give you VIP and mod powers. Do you want to be a VIP or a mod?
What?
Do you want to be a VIP or a mod?
Yes.
Well, a VIP just means you get a little diamond. Mod means you can ban people and help me.
Do you want me to be a mod?
I don't really need it.
Okay,
Jess is here, so, but.
VIP then.
VIP then. Okay. Hey there, B. Yeah, B's a nice young lady, and she's coming with us on this journey. So, I get to this place, right? And the first thing I think to myself is, wow, what a beautiful place of power. I felt such an energy here. I don't know how to describe it. It felt like Christmas morning tied in with your birthday and New Year's Day all at the same time kind of a feeling. When you're celebratory, when you're feeling that, things are going to be better kind of a day. It was like I walked into a new door. I actually walked through a new door. Now, I've just started to explore my paganness, my witchiness at this point. Wink, 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 nudge, nudge, nudge. Say no more, say no more, say no more. And as I'm starting to approach this place, I feel the sense of empowerment awakening with me. And I really believe that my higher power or my guides were leading me to this sacred spot, because I did find out that it's very close to ley lines too. That part of that park does fall on an adjunct of a ley line. It's not directly connected, but it is kind of an adjunct to one of the major ones out there. And when I stepped into this place, I felt the power rise within me, because I've always been a person who's tried to find the best possible way of living life. I've tried to find ways to make my life easier, because I'm a person who has to learn by someone showing me how to do it. I learn better through pictures and stories and movies. I'm not the best reader in the world. Hey, coffee lurkers. Anyone's a coffee lurker out there? All right. And when I get to this place, I step into it. And when I step into it, this is an actual place in Robbinsdale, Minnesota. It's called Walter Siskowski Park. It's in between Robbinsdale, Minnesota and Crystal on June Avenue. You can actually walk and be underneath this place. So this is an actual existing place that exists here in Minneapolis and Minnesota here. It's in Robbinsdale. It's on the border between Robbinsdale and Crystal. So depending on which side of the river you're on, you're in Crystal or something like that. Yeah, that. Well, if you ever come to the United States and you decide to come visit your pesky old tarot reader or something like that, maybe I'll read your palm while you're here. You really blow your mind out of the water. But anyway, if you ever get the chance to come here and experience it, it's one of those major portions of my life. Like I said, stepping into this place, feeling this sense of empowerment awaken in me. It had never felt this before in my life. I mean, never. I'd always been, I hate my life. I hate depressed. I hate this, that, and the other. So when I'm talking about the bad part of my persona, that's what I'm talking about. I was very self-involved. I was very, take what I need, don't take what I want, not necessarily what I need. I was about the sugary, sweetie stuff. I tried to fill my life with a lot of big. Why do you think I'm so big, damn it? I tried to fill myself up with all the other junk. It didn't work. You know what I'm saying? But when I stepped in this place, I felt a part of me die. I mean, literally, it was like a person within me died the second I stepped inside of it. It was like I left a little bit of my old self behind as I stepped into this place. And when I talk about this card specifically, when I say that you've drawn the Witch's Tower card today, you get this card in one of my readings, right? What I tell people is it's time to claim your power. It's time to stamp your foot into the ground and start to mark it 3 times and say to the universe, this is what I want. This is how I want it. This is why I want it. This is what I'm willing to give up to get that thing. I'm willing to give up all of that which I don't want in my life. My fear, my anxiety, all this crap that used to be before, I'm willing to give up to learn and do something different for a change, right?
Can I have a smoke?
Yes, love. You can have a smoke. Give me a chance to come and gather some spiritual people while I'm really struggling. Good. Well, I'm glad that they did, because maybe this is the lesson you need. So I stamp my foot to the ground. I claim my power. In this moment, the very first time I ever step into it, the very first time I've ever felt empowerment, love for myself, love for the universe, love for humanity, love for other people in general. Okay, people have not treated me the best in my life. So I kind of stayed away from people because a lot of people did not do the right things to me. I've been abused, I've been bullied, I've almost been killed. You know, a couple of things happened in my life, you know. But when I went and claimed my power, I stamped my foot to the ground and I told the universe what I wanted my life to be. I said, remember that dream you gave me when I was an 8-year-old boy? I need that to happen. I need that shit to be real. I need that to actually manifest in my life. Here I sit at 50 years old, finally accomplishing that. It took me a while to get there, but I did get there. Kind of took the easy path or the hard path, depending on which way you want to look at it. So, after I claim my power, I come up with the phrase, I have the power. That was the first time I ever uttered those words. Then in high school, I had a class called Positive Direction with Gary Doval, who was in Minneapolis, Minnesota at Park Center Senior High. I want to say that name again. Gary Doval, you changed my life forever. Thank you. Wherever you are, you made me be the most positive person I could have ever been. Without your class, he had a special class in high school where we were allowed to go tell our life stories and share our journeys with all the other students in a safe place. We're talking about safe space here. When you come here and you see all the safe space, before safe space was a thing on the internet, it was a real thing in real life because you wanted to go to a place where you weren't judged for who you were. Sexually, the way you looked, the way you did things, anything. You just needed to go to a place where we could just talk about shit, right? And now I'm claiming my power and claiming who I am as a person and believing in myself for the first time. And as I start to say to the universe, that dream I need to come true. I need it to be real. So the blue sphere dream finally got into my heart. I had a physical blue sphere at one point. Because I felt like my path wasn't exactly going the way I wanted it to, and I was mad at my life, I smashed the sphere. Because I'm saying, fuck the goddamn destiny already. I'm just going to go live my life. I don't care anymore. I was done with it all. I really, really was. So, before this moment, before I walk and claim my power, this is all the crap I'm going through. Sexually abused by a babysitter, bullied constantly in high school, friends who I thought were my friends were actually my bullies, teachers who kept telling me I would never amount to anything, people who told me I was stupid all the way along, people who told me I was crazy, people who told me that I could never amount to anything in this world, that I would be a fast food worker the rest of my days. You know what I'm saying? That's what I was told in high school. That's what they thought I was capable of. And I said, fuck you, I'm going to go make my own goddamn destiny already. And that was another thing. Those 3 things that I tell people about in my deck when I talk about my mother's card, and I might get that one out somewhere, right? I had to remember 3 things that kind of got me through life. And I want you to hear this today, B, because I really think you do need this. Okay? So open up those big ears. Open up your open heart, open mind when you hear these, because I'm going to yell at you a little bit here, okay? So just fair warning, okay? Are you ready for my little advice for you, B? Are you ready to change your life forever today? Because then we're going to get into the rest of these and the rest of the story here. But I want to tell you something, and I want to tell everybody out there this exact message. If you need to empower your life, if you want to change your life, if you want to make it be better, and this goes out to anybody out there who is struggling with their life, who doesn't think they have a destiny, who can't seem to see their fate, who can't seem to see their purpose, who can't believe in themselves, who can't empower their lives and make it do what they want it to do. This goes out to every last fucking one of you. Number 1, and you all need to believe this, you were given free will for a reason. Do you realize that you have the power? And I'm talking about the ultimate power above God, because God gave us the ability to overwrite his rules by not following them in the first place. He gave us the ultimate choice, good, bad, or ugly. He knows we're going to do what we're going to do. He doesn't care about the actual choice. Yes, he wants us to live in a certain way, in a certain kind of method, but he knows that there has to be a mix of good and evil in this world in order for us to have that choice in the first place, right? So, where was I? Brain work. Okay, so, yeah, and it's time for you to believe in your power. It's time for you to believe in your true will, your true intent. Because you don't know how powerful you all really are. That we affect so much change in this world that when we say something is true, God himself changes the universe to make it true. So kind of understand that he's working with us even though he's not talking at this moment, because maybe he's here. Maybe he's here trying to help us. Maybe he's one of us. Maybe he's a human being trying to understand humanity, his own creation. Maybe he put himself into all of us. He broke himself so emphatically apart that we all have a little bit of his soul in us. And that's why we can't hear him. That's why we hear him in our head and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Then there's that second message I need you all to hear too. And this one goes out to be, you are loved by more people than you could ever possibly imagine. I want you all to remember every person you've ever smiled, made their day better, made their life better because you gave them some advice, even harsh advice they needed to hear. You moved them, you changed, you made them be better people. I don't ever want to hear the words, you are not loved ever, ever again. Because you are loved. It doesn't take a lot of people out there to say, You are loved. But there are people out there who wish they had the kind of love you said. The person you need to start to learn to love is yourself. So start saying, I love me as much as you say, I love you. Number 3, and this is very important for all of that, right? And it's time to carve your own goddamn destinies already. You all have the power to put your finger down in the sands of time and carve the kind of life you want out. Because you have that power. Because you know you are loved. But you have to believe it. You have to believe it with your whole heart. Trust implicitly. Unconditional trust. Unconditional love in your higher power. Whichever that may be. If they give you the power and the resources to do and live your life the way you want to live, they're giving you all you have. How you use it, however, comma space, is your free will. Yes, you have a destiny. You're here to live and die. That's your destiny. What is your fate? Whatever you choose to do in between that time. Okay? This is what I'm doing. Fate is what you decide to do in between these little points right here. And then your destiny, fate, and whatever purpose is what you've done by the end of your life. Okay? That's when you're done. And people say, oh, I remember Joshua Adam Bleasy. He was an artist. He did tarot, blah, 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 blah. Okay? So we have to get to those clear expectations of what we want the universe to tell us. Acceptance has to start inside first, people. Okay? And this was the hardest lesson for me to learn as a human being. Learning to love myself was the hardest thing I've ever had to do in my life. It took me 25 years to do it. Took me 25 years to find self-love. Okay? So when you talk to me about you're having a bad day and you're having a rough spot, I've been there. I've been through the shit storms. I've done everything. I haven't done all the evil things in this world. Okay, I haven't done something so evil I need to be put into a prison for it, but I have done some things that I'm not exactly proud of in this world, okay? We all do it. We all make mistakes. We all do something that we're not supposed to do from time to time to time to time to time. You know what I'm saying? And as we begin our journeys, when we start to take that first step today, be above all days, I want you to go find a cardboard box somewhere in your home. And I want you to get out a nice couple sheets of paper. And I want you to write on those sheets of paper everything you need to let go of and be free of and get rid of. Anything within yourself that you need to allow to die so that you can start to renew your spirit and be reborn as a spirit. I'm not talking actual death here. I'm talking about you writing a letter to yourself, your old self, about how you feel about your life. And I want you to write in details of all the things that have made you angry and upset in your life and all that shitstorm that you keep putting in there. Everything you don't want in your life needs to go into the cardboard box. Find another cardboard or seal the cardboard box somehow, some way. If you want to decorate it, decorate it. I don't care. But the important part is you're going to take this out to your fire pit, fire stove, whatever place you can safely burn it away. We're going to hold an actual funeral for our old selves. This is something I actually did. This is the first thing I did to start my journey going forward. When we're talking after the Witch's Tower moment, this is the next step I'm taking, right? I have to allow myself, the first thing to do is to start to love me, right? So I give you full permission today to find your happiness. I give you full permission to make your life be that what it is. Today is the start of your best day ever. Because I want you to take all of that stuff that you put into that box and I want you to hold an actual funeral for it. Like you were missing a child, like you were missing a pet, like you were missing the most valued family member ever. Cry, yell, whatever you need to do to get out, all you need to get out needs to go into that box. And I want you to hold an actual funeral in whatever way serves your purpose, whatever faith you believe in, whatever ceremony you want to do for it, but burn it away. Okay? And once it's finally all ash and gone, I want you to take these ashes and spread them in your garden. And I want you to begin again a new day because that old self has finally died. We're going to get rid of all of it. We're starting from our own starting point. We're starting from our own beginning. We're starting from our chosen path. We're putting down in the sands of time our foundation stone. And we're going to build on top of that. And we're going to keep building on top of that until we build something that feels like home inside of ourselves. And then we're going to get into the rest of the story now, because it does translate into this. So, now, as I am continuing my journey and continuing all of this stuff going on, hey, let's see, we're doing very light readings today. So we're doing a just chatting stream for right now. So readings, I forgot to close the queue down. I'm sorry. I didn't realize I left it open, but this is just kind of a just chatting stream right now because we're doing a little bit of an explaining the deck today kind of a deal. It's okay. You didn't know. That's why I was trying to put up there 5 past promotion stream so you all know that I'm not really doing readings today. But stay in the queue because maybe I will just take a break and we'll do a reading for an example of how I do my readings too. So if you want to stick around, I want to finish my story first because we're in the middle of telling my 5 past story and what I learned in the lesson. We just got done with me finding my empowerment, re-embracing my empowerment, claiming my power, getting to a point in my life where I had to say I love me and starting to learn to love the new me that I wanted to be and emptying myself out so that I could start to begin and be rebirthed as a brand new soul. Or as I like to say, when you go to Jesus and you want your soul to be clean, you become baptized and take confirmation again, your soul's all brand new and clean. Well, maybe it's time to do that for yourself. In your own way, in your own faith, whatever way means something to you. But that's what I did for myself. And as I start to awaken and start to feel all of these things start to come in, because these are when the voices start to come in a little bit stronger. We've got an ad, so give us a second here. We're going to take a smoke ad break real quick. And I'm not even done with the journey yet, guys. It's funny that you say that. Because, Lixie, when I say I give you the journey layout, this is why I call it the journey layout. All right, looks like we're back, guys. So back to the story at hand. I wanted to give people a chance for that ad to go out of the way here so I could continue with my story, okay? Because it's important you guys hear it all. And I'm trying to pay attention to when the ads pop up and stuff like that, okay? So, because I have the lowest amount of ads on my page I can possibly have, but I am just trying to earn just a tiny bit of money back, you know, not really trying to earn a living at it, but I'm trying to earn a little bit of money back. I'm not going to lie. We all want something here, you know. And in that moment when I left, and that's kind of what I feel that ritual for you there, B will help you because I let that old self go. I burned away unison, okay? I burned away the old person I used to be. What made me be the person I am today, the unknown prophet? I eliminated all of it. All my past grief associated with anything atoned to anything I've ever done. I let go of my fear. I let go of my anxiety. And I just said, you can have it. I let it completely go. I emptied myself out. Not the universe doing it for me and putting me down into a place where I have to build myself back up. Me saying, I need to empty myself out. Me saying I needed to let that old person die. Because it was the second I said, I am now the unknown. And that's how I started. I am the unknown. I am everything that ever happened or ever will happen. I am all of time and space. I am everything that has ever existed in all of entirety. I am the unknown possibilities of what may come. I am compassionate like all beyond all approach. You know, and insert my personal belief system here. You want me to go through it? I'll go through it, okay? But maybe that's important for you to understand what my belief system was. I needed to let go of the abuse. The woman I used to love, even though I was in a very beautiful current relationship, I had to let go of some of that past. Before I even found my lovely lady, I had to realize that the person I loved at the time could never love me back in return. And that was something I was doing to myself over and over and over again. I couldn't love myself as much as I was loving others. So I learned how to start to do that. Now, I've always been a compassionate guy. I've never done something so evil to hurt someone on purpose. If I've ever done it to somebody, it wasn't on purpose. That's for damn sure. You know, or if I did something to somebody that was a purposeful act, I felt like they deserved it, and we all have that line in the sand where you cross it, I'm going to push back kind of a deal. Well, I have my line too. You know what I'm saying? And now we begin the true journey. Now, this is called the journey story for a reason, because it was a journey. Because it was one day, I think it was maybe a month or two after I found the witch's tower, okay? And I'm going out into this forest because I really didn't go past the witch's tower for a while. Okay, I'm new to the area, I'm new to the forest, I'm still a little bit of a scaredy cat here, okay? So, and venture, but I'm a child of the forest, I'm a child of the nature, so I go out and I start to, wander out there. Now, I'm an adult at this point, or practically an adult at this point. I'm almost 18 years old at this point, okay? So, and as I'm starting to go towards that witch's tower, I think to myself, I wonder what's beyond this. What could I possibly find beyond this? I need to start to explore beyond this place. Yeah, this feels like a nice, warm, comfortable space to sit, because it was a big thingy, and it was a big amount of land, so I didn't think that was something I could traverse very easily, because I've always had back issues since I was 18 years old. I had an accident when I was 18 years old that fucked my back up for the rest of my life. It was because of a work injury accident, and I can't even still go after them for that anymore, because I was a stupid idiot of a young man who didn't think about that kind of shit. I slipped and fell when the oil, and I didn't have enough help in the store. It was a thing, okay? So the very first thing that I want to tell you about is the lesson now, okay? So this is the journey story. If we're ready for it, I want to take a quick 5 to 10 minute break to go to use the bathroom real quick, get some water, get some more coffee, maybe even have a really laid back kind of a smoke break. But I will be back in about 5 to 10 minutes. I've got to use my cane to get down to the other side of the room. So it does take me a little bit, guys, but I will be back, okay? 5 to 10 minutes. See you soon. right, guys, I'm back. Hey, before we do anything else, I want to put a shout out to my lovely lady, the best wife in the entire world, Witchy Beth.
Yay!
Anyway, she is the best wife for me. She may not be the best wife for you, but she's the best wife for me, okay? So now that we've gotten the, I needed to shout my wife out shit out of the way. Because I love her with all of my heart. To Witchy Beth, you are the reason I am the man I am today. Without her, I couldn't have completed this journey. I couldn't have done it. Well, maybe I could have, but it would have been harder. So now we're going to get on to the rest of the story. The journey story begins now. So, let me get, and I'm sorry that your parents are being a little tyrannical with you, but remember, you will be 18 or an adult someday, and you will be able to make your own choices and decisions at some time, okay? So I don't know how old you are or how close you are to the finish line there, but eventually your parents will be able to tell you to do jack shit. In fact, they can't tell you to do anything right now because you are a unique individual person who has unique individual feelings, and they couldn't stop you if they wanted to because you have your own free will and intent to do whatever the hell you want by leaving your ass out of that situation. Okay, I'm just saying. You're on mute. I can't risk them hearing. Okay, so you're probably in a place where that what I'm saying would be considered against the law or against your culture and rules and regulations and stuff, and you have to be careful about that kind of stuff. And I'm sorry that you're in that kind of a situation. Oh, sorry. That's okay. You got me. You got me on the on the old. You can see the words on the screen thingy. Okay, fine. Put headphones on. Put your headphones on. Blah blah blah. So I'm sorry that you live in a place where your parents are being a little bit like that, but I'm not your parent. So I can't say that would be a good thing or a bad thing for me. So, but I'm sorry that you're living in that situation. But you will be an adult someday, so they won't hold that power over you forever. Okay. So here we go with the journey layout story. If you guys are ready for that, okay? Because
tell B that I understand where they're coming from.
my wife understands completely where you're coming from. Just kind of putting it out there. She understands. So yeah, in the UK there's a thing. There's no such thing for an adult at either 32 years old. Okay, well there's a. So but there is a point where you become a responsible adult and you take the responsibility on your shoulders, and your parents don't do that for you anymore. So, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to do gaming, guys, as a FYI, because I tried all day yesterday to get the stream set up for it, and the system that I have and the games that I want to play just doesn't seem to be compatible with the OBS, where I need somebody to help me with it, because I don't know what the hell I'm doing as far as the gaming stuff. I know how to set it up for like a talking stream and stuff like that, but the gaming stuff has got me. I don't know how to do it. Maybe Jessa or somebody else out there can help me with that. But we're gonna get into the actual lesson now, because like I said, it was about a month or two after finding the witch's tower when I learned this lesson. And it was the most important lesson I've ever learned in my life. So I want you to know that this was a journey for me. It didn't just start and end that day. It got me to the point I needed to be in my life for myself. So one of the things that I learned through this lesson, and a lesson I learned in a forest. Now, I'm a very introspective kind of a guy. I think about a lot of stuff in this head of mine, I think about life, my destiny, my purpose, all of this stuff. I had those thoughts in my head, believing in my power, starting to embrace that power. In fact, I got this on my arm to prove to myself I had the power. This is my first tattoo ever. It's a symbol of my superhero self, saying I had the power, and that's what's to symbolize I had the power and all of that stuff. Oh, okay, good. I'm glad to hear it. Now that you're not muted anymore, I'm glad to hear you can hear me. Put me on low. I don't want you to get into trouble. How old are you, B? I mean, are we talking 16, 17 here? Or are we talking a little younger? This isn't an 18 plus chat, guys. I do want to warn you, I'm 18 plus here. So all of my advice or anything I would tell you, 32. Well, then you're an adult and you can be here just fine. You're an adult. Why are you letting your parents tell you how to live your life? I mean, for God's sakes, are you an adult or not? And why don't you have power over them anymore? I mean, what kind of a tyrannical hold do they have over you? In a cage, are we? I don't know. Maybe you are. Maybe all you get is a room, a cage, and you get 3 squares a meal, but you're not allowed to leave the house. I don't know if that's the issue there, but I'm really sorry you're living that kind of a situation. I really am, because I know I've been there. I've been in situations like that, okay? Now, hey, Chuck, first time chatter. Welcome in, Chuck the Clown. Ha ha ha. Hopefully you're here to spread a lot of laughs and joy. Chucky the Clown. I love Chucky. It's one of my favorite series on television right now. I've always liked the Chucky series. I love the campiness of it. I love the outrageous way they go about it. It's a different kind of horror film. It's a doll horror film that we all are scared of. That one day our doll would wake up and get us. Yeah, you know what I did to my toys when I thought about them getting up in the middle of the night and doing things to me? I said, come on, bring it on, boys. And like I said, you can always come back later tomorrow or whenever it's safe for you to watch it and watch the VOD of this. Okay, guys? So please stay safe. I don't want you to endanger your lives because you're here. I don't want you to endanger your path, but sometimes you just got to say, fuck it. I don't care if my parents here. I mean, like I said. Hey, Killer Clowns from Outer Space. My favorite movie, too. I love camp movies like that. I love it. I love movies like that. I call that a B horror movie. Okay, they're so bad, but they're so good because all you can do is sit there and laugh at them. But they've got to be a certain kind of quirky, okay, in order to make my B movie hell less. They can't just be a bad movie, okay? It's got to be a bad movie that keeps making obvious mistakes over and over again, that's purposely doing it to make you laugh, that's trying to get you to think a little bit out of your butt, but Killer Clowns from Outer Space is definitely one of the biggest. I'm really into the retro kind of shows like we all like to call B movies. I love your B movies. The reason I say B movie hell is because they're all going to hell. But you know what? I want to watch them anyway because I like to watch them burn.
You're froze.
Okay, I'm froze. Give me a second here. Try refreshing your screen, honey, because I'm not frozen here. I'm watching my stream here. It's not me.
Okay.
So now, yeah, there will be a VOD as soon as I'm done at 12 o'clock today. So as soon as I end stream, the VOD saves, and you guys can go watch it whenever you want, okay? So now we're going to get into the story or the journey story, okay? So this is the first card I want to point out to you. It's called the Past Path. Now, every card I'm about to show you is an actual path that I walked down and learning the lessons that I learned here. So the first lesson I learned here was this. As I begin my journey, and I take that first step past the witch's tower, okay? And I follow a deer path, okay? I don't follow the main road there. Chucky, we're not doing readings right now, unfortunately. We're just having a Just Chatting stream today. You'll have to come back tomorrow for the reading portion of the stream, but we're not doing readings today. We're just doing a showcase of my 5 Paths Tarot today because yesterday was when my Kickstarter ended at 6 o'clock this morning, so I have not completed my Kickstarter goal. So now I'm starting my next goal, which is asking you guys for your help to help me accomplish my goal and dream. And that's going to be like, you know, if you want to support me and give me donations and stuff like that, all the money that I receive from this point forward will go towards that tarot deck. And I've got a little bit of homework still left to do with the deck. I'm trying to finish it up and stuff, but I'm giving myself a more laid back approach to it. So I'm not trying to be so, you got to get it done right now kind of a deal, you know, because I want to do it right. You know, I want to make sure it looks good. Don't want to just, you know, sit here and go, okay, this is what the card means. This is what the card means. This is what the card means. I also kind of want to give you a little background about where the picture was taken or why the picture was taken. So as we get to this picture, the Past Path, and let me show you this a little bit better, okay? Like I said, this was right beyond or right before the Witch's Tower. So the Witch's Tower is practically at the end of this path here, okay? So the Witch's Tower is like right about right about in here somewhere in this back end here, right? Okay. So the past path, right? Hey, get ready for your medical appointment. Go get ready. Get out of here. Get into the shower, you stinky ass woman.
Not bad.
Okay, not a stinky ass woman, but get into the shower. Or whatever you're going to do with yourself today. So, bitch, we say adieu to my lovely lady. Goodbye. She's going to lurk for us the rest of the stream, but she's got to go get ready for her medical appointment today. So, boom. Here we go. So, thank you guys for welcoming my lovely lady. We're saying goodbye to Witchy Beth. Bye, Witchy Beth.
Bye.
There you go. You got to hear her and everything. So, now we're going to get to the story part of it once again. So, as I begin to walk and look and think about where I have come up to this point in my life, what had made me be who I was, right? Yes, it was about the abuse. Yes, it was about the bullies. Yes, it was about all of this bad stuff that happened to me, but not all bad things happened to me. I also had an amazing mother who loved and appreciated me and tried to make me be the best possible human I could be. My father wasn't always there, but he was there. Okay? Hey, at least he tried. It wasn't like he was doing the best job at it. We'll give him that shot, but we're doing a lot better at it now. So there's that, so things like that. So as I'm starting to think about everything that I've been through, my destiny, the dream when I was 8 years old, the me following the clues, me following what I saw in my head. Every time a major event would happen in my life, it would be like a signpost I saw in that dream, like I was heading the right direction. So it was because of a dream I had when I was an 8-year-old boy after my abuse story. And we might go back and tell you that a little bit later in the stream. But for right now, I just want you to know it was at that moment where my psychic awareness happened. And then learning how to use it was a 5 to 10 year process of learning how to use it. And then I start using it. And then I become awesome at it. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. But the journey that I had been on up to this point, the person who made me who I was today, all my past victories, all my past defeats, it was no longer my war chronicle. It wasn't something I had to make through any longer. It was just my history book. It's what the facts, and only the facts. That's what I needed to be aware of. I know the factual information. I need to drop the emotional baggage off into the kiddie pool and leave it there forever. That's what I need to do. So the past path is all about you realizing that you are going to have victories. You are going to have defeats. But you have to appreciate what made you who you are today. Even in the struggle, that part of you came through those issues, came through those problems, that you realize right now that everything you've ever been through, you've done yourself. Do you realize that there hasn't been anyone holding your hand doing this? Yeah, your parents give you the best advice. They help you up to a certain age, but once you become a person who can kind of do their own deal once in a while, there's very little or very much they can do to stop you if you wanted to leave. You could, at this moment, leave your house right now, not take any of your crap, go start a whole new life with a whole new name, and never see your parents ever again. You could today do that. If you really, really wanted it to happen, you could do it. Okay? And at this point in my life, that's what I thought. I can either leave this junk behind and not let it rule my life anymore. I can drop the emotional baggage off, and I can start to let that go and remind myself that the facts made me who I was today, reviewing that these victories and defeats that I had made up to this point had made me be the unison that I was craving to become someday. Because I had a goal of becoming the man I saw in my head, the God that I worshipped at the time before I became a witch. So, like I said, this was all before I became a witch. Consider getting subtitles. I thought I did have subtitles. Sorry, I didn't know I didn't have subtitles. But I will consider trying to find a way to do that later, okay, B? So I'm sorry about that, but if you can't understand me or whatever, but I just talk how I talk, so. And since I can kind of hear myself over here, I know I'm not talking like you can't understand me, so. But I will look into that, okay, B? I will look into that. So that was the first lesson that I learned, that I had to accept my past as it wasn't my war chronicle. Oh, well, like I said, I can't control when you can listen and can't listen, okay? I'm sorry. You have to step up to the plate and own your power again. Ah, you're not a pain in the ass. I'll let you know when you're being a pain in the ass. You know what you're doing right now? You're being a Hughesman. That's okay with me. I don't mind you being Hughesman. So that was part of the thing I had to learn. And I hadn't learned that lesson up to that point. That I could look at it as a history book rather than the war chronicle. Oh, this was the battle I won. Yay, this is the battle I lost. Boo, all of that stuff. So I had to learn that my history book made me who I was. That was the first lesson I learned. Then I move on to the second lesson I learned. And remember, I learned this all in one day. Okay, so I had the biggest, most spiritual moment of my life on this day. I don't remember the exact date, time, whatever, all of that stuff, but I don't remember it, right? So I get to the point now where I'm walking down this path, and it is a long journey from the end of this path to where this is at. It's about a quarter mile before you get here. And maybe not even a quarter mile, maybe less than a quarter mile, maybe not even 3/4 of a mile, maybe. It wasn't a long jaunt, but it was a jaunt. Okay, so I get to the point in the forest where at this point there is a crossroads. Okay, and here's where it really begins for me. I mean, really begins for me. We talk about awakening in our world. We talk about honestly owning our manifestation. See, the third eye is even coming out to play a little bit. Because they know I'm telling the truth, because they know they need this information to get out there, because it's an important lesson for people to learn, even if you don't buy my deck, even if you don't support me. And these are free readings when I do free readings. I don't try to earn a living at this, guys. I do this because I want something to do every day. I got a lot of money at one point, so now I've spent that money. Now I've got to go back to my normal standard, whatever I think it is. I'm doing great, RX Mary. We're doing a little bit of a chatting stream today, so we're going through all the cards and telling the 5 paths lesson. So if you missed any of it, you'll have to go back and watch the VOD beforehand. But we're getting to this part now where we're doing the weight path and the explanation of what I learned when I came here. So when I get to this spot here, right, I'm at the crossroads. I've got this path behind me. So that's why I call this my past path. When I get to this point, this weight path point, this is when I name it. I claim that this was my past, where I have been through up to this point to get to where I am waiting at now. So now we get to this point, right? And here, let me show this card off to you just a little bit, okay? It is a nice little crossroads. That's why you don't see a direction. That's why you don't see any other path. You just see woods there, okay? Because at that point, you've got the past path behind you, and then you've got 2 roads in front of you. You've got an easier laid kind of a it's more of a open-ended kind of a path, and I'll get to this next. And then there's a really one more wooded deer path, bike path kind of a deal you can go down on the other side. And then I hadn't even discovered the one lesson I had yet to discover yet at this point in my journey. I get to this spot, and for the first time in my life I realize that what I keep telling you guys every time you guys come here. When I say today can be your best day ever because you choose it to be so, that's when that starts for me. Because I'm at this point and I'm thinking, what choices and changes do I have in front of me? Am I using my emotional journey to drive me forward? Is what I'm believing and feeling right? Maybe, maybe not. Is my logical mind telling me, is this what I feel like I'm supposed to be doing here? Everything I've learned up to this point has to be for some purpose. What am I going to use it for, right? I don't know, but I know that there's a logical part of my brain that goes, I know all of these skills. I know all this information. Boom, right? So I'm sitting here in this spot faced with 2 different paths in front of me, okay? This path and this path, okay? And I have the easy path on the right and the hard path on the left, okay? And as you can see, as I'm looking down this road and sitting in this spot, I am seeing this on one side, this on one side, and this on that side, and then this in the back, right? So here we go, right? We've got the past path. We've already been through this. Now we are waiting for the answers to come to us, or are we? I spent a lot of my life waiting for God or whatever to plop the answers in my hands. Like they were going to give me a present from UPS that I would open up. I'm going to unbox the best life ever. Oop, wait, where's my unboxing kit? Around here somewhere. Maybe it's in the sugar box somewhere. Okay, I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying, right? So I get to this point and I actually think about the choices I've made in my life. When I made a emotional choice, when I made a logical choice, when I sat there and waited for God to give me the answers. You know what my God said to me? Get your ass up off of your butt and start walking down one of the things that are right in front of your ass. It woke me up because I really thought about the choices and changes that I had to make in my life. Before I even name these, right? I'm saying to myself, and it's literally a 5-second choice. Oh, that way looks easier. That way looks harder. That's all I said in my head. I didn't have an associations with either path at that point. But at this point, I discovered that the universe was providing everything that I needed. It was how I was using that, what they were giving me. Even the troubles, even the trials and tribulations were meant to move me in a certain direction. And even though I didn't understand, my emotional journey and my logical journey were working hand in hand most of the time. There were times where I made one choice more than other. And it's all about embracing the choice. It's all about embracing the change in your life. That this is the moment when you stop waiting around for the world to change and you start getting up off of your butt and start to change it. And that's what this card is all about. And that's the lesson I learned during the wait path. Now we get to the easy and the hard path, right? And we're not doing readings today, Sweaty. We're only doing a just chatting stream. We're promoting the deck today after not completing the Kickstarter campaign. This was always going to be just a just chatting stream. I said we may or may not get to readings today. I don't know. I've got a lot to go over still, and I haven't even finished the lesson yet. So, and then once I'm done with the lesson, maybe we'll do a journey layout for someone in stream, okay? So that's why I'm kind of explaining this too, because this is a part of what I call the journey layout. I take you down each one of these roads. So I'm going to tell you about your past path, about your waiting path when we actually do the reading part of it, okay? But when I get to this point in my journey, when I've reached that waiting path, I say to myself, I've got two choices in front of me. I can either go down this path, that's a bike path that I don't know where it goes. I know this path and I know where it goes because it's gravel and it's been pre-paved. So I know it goes somewhere, but I don't know where this one goes because it goes straight through the forest. It's a deer path. It's not a technical path through the forest. People made this path kind of a deal. I look at one side and I look down this hard path. Let's start with the hard path first, and then we'll go to the easy path, okay? So I look down the hard path first. Let me show you the card a little bit closer so you guys can see it. Okay, and as you can see, it's a very wooded area, and there's just a deer path down it. Okay, and I say to myself in this moment, what am I being determined by? What is my goal? I look at this path and I say to myself, I've done this my whole life. I've taken the hard path. I've struggled. People told me I couldn't do it. I had to find a way to do it. People told me, and I even told myself, yeah, Nicole, we're not doing readings today, sweetie. I'm sorry to say, this is just chatting stream for this time only. So we may be returning to readings tomorrow, but we're just going through my deck today. I'm explaining my 5-path story today and kind of having a just chatting stream for once here. And then tomorrow we will return back to the normal tarot reading stream, okay? But now back to my hard path lesson. So I look down this path and I think to myself, what have I gotten over? What hills or valleys or what sticks were in my way? What was in my way to get to where I was determined to get to? Yeah, people told me I would never amount to anything. I said, fuck you, I'm going to get and become something in this world. I don't know what that is yet, but I will become something in this world, right? I put that out there, and I'm telling myself I'm going to get there as fast as I can, right? I will jump the hill, valley, or vine in the way to get to where I'm going. So I will go through all those troubles, all those tribulations, if that's what it takes to get to my goal. I will fight past all of the pain, the anger, the anguish, the depression, the sadness, the anxieties. I will move past all that which stands in my way, and I will be very determined to get to the end of my path. Because the first thing I say to myself is, I need to have that power. I have the power now. How do I use the power? I'm going to use this power to get to the end of this, and I run down this road to get to the other side. Now, when I get to the end of this path, there's actually a paved path at the end of this that connects back to, guess what? The easy path. So these two paths do honestly connect to one another in the back end of the park, and I took that as a lesson too, because we're going to get there. We're going to go down the easy path next, right? Because we can't do the hard path forever. We'll burn ourselves out. After you're done accomplishing whatever goal and dream you need to do in your life, it's time. And I realized at the end of where I had been through, doing the hard path, that I had to take a break to let it soak into my life, that I had to learn that the lesson wasn't about getting over those things. It was about enduring those things. It was about overcoming those things. It was about learning how to find the ways past those things. And just want to put that out there, that I had to take a break to let it soak into my life before I could move forward, right? Even in that moment, when I get to the path, I'm out of breath, right? There's a bench at the end of the path. I sit my ass down and say, I need this rest. I need this nice long rest to catch my breath, because I ran down that hall. So that was a part of the lesson I learned that day. As I'm telling you everything here, I'm telling you how I came to that conclusion. So now I get to the end of the hard path, right? But I decide I need to go back again and look at this in a new, different way. So I go all the way back. It's not even a 5-second, it's literally a 5-minute walk from one end to the other path, maybe even shorter than that, maybe 1 to 2 minutes. Honestly, it's not a very long path to get to where you need to get to by the end of it, right? So I get back to the weight path again, and I look down this path, and I say, but I can't do the hard path forever either. I've got to take an easier way. And I think about all the times I set goals for myself. This is who I want myself to be. I want us to be a hero. I want to be someone who is loved, respected. How do I do that? Love and respect everyone. Okay? That's step number 1. How I want people to know who I am. I'm an artist. Put my artistry out there. That's step number 2. I want to be a person who helps people and does things for others. Okay, I'm going to do a lot of wonderful gifts. Maybe I'll create a couple of things I can give away. But that's another step on my journey. Right? I took one step at a time, trying to make one goal be the only goal for a while. And then when I reached the end of that path, I had to set another goal. It may have taken me 10 steps to get to where I was going, because this path is a lot longer than the hard path. It does curve around a little bit, and it's actually just a little bit longer than the hard path. But they both go to the same place in the end. So that's when I say, sometimes we need to set goals and give ourselves permission to take one step at a time. We're going to take each step as if it... One moment. Yes, Beth!
Oh, I thought I heard you up here. Never mind. I was gonna ask you to get me a towel.
One moment. Towel duty. On your walker.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for that, guys. So I learned how to set goals for myself. I learned that I couldn't take it all on at once either. That there was a part of me that needed to take a slower approach to setting goals, reaching those goals, celebrating those goals, and then making new goals. Because I knew my major goal was finding the self-empowerment within myself, finding a new, different way to go about doing my journey and my path. So that's the easy and the hard path. Now, we get to the point of the story where things kind of stop and stalemate for a bit, okay? Because at the beginning, before I included the rest of these cards, right, we have the past path. We have the hard path. We have the easy path. We have the weight path, right? And these are all the choices that I've given myself up to this point, right? Well, I discover something a couple of days later because I'm tired. I have to go home. I have to get some rest. It's been a big, long day. So the first two lessons I learned pretty much that day. Okay, like I said, that was what I learned. That whole bit, the past path, the weight path, the hard and the easy. That's what I learned that very first time out there in the forest when I found the witch's tower and all of that stuff as well, right? So I find the witch's tower. I go, well, actually, I walk down the path. I find the witch's tower. I find the weight path. I have choices and decisions through the easy and the hard path, right? And then I remember something right beyond what everyone else in my whole life has told me, right? My whole life, people have told me about doing one thing that I couldn't do myself, right? So I call this the unseen path because at the end of both of these paths is a literal road. I mean a road for cars to drive on, where houses and people live, okay? So I get to the end of the hard and the easy path, right? Where there's a part where you can walk, either you can walk down the road or not. And I wasn't quite sure there was anything really fun or important down that way. I thought about going back to the beginning and past the easy path. There's more of the forest you can go explore all the way down to almost Worth Parkway if you want, which is a really big park here in Minnesota. So it connects to an even bigger park. You could get literally lost and find your way through half of the city starting there. I mean, you could literally travel through forest the whole way through Minnesota and never hit city. And it's an amazing stretch of road because you go from major city to like an oasis to major city on one side, major city on another side, major city on another side, major city. And then there's this little oasis in the middle of all of that crap, okay? Where you don't hear the sounds of everything else going around it. It's amazing. It's really amazing because you should hear all of this chaos going around it, but you don't hear any of it. It truly is a sanctuary, okay? So, we get to the point in the journey where I'm now at the end of the easy and the hard paths in front of me. I have a new choice to make. Do I let my fear and my anxiety about what I will find on the other end of this? Because right in front of me, I don't even see this path quite yet. All I see is just a blank, paved road where houses are in. See the end of the road, and I see the park, meaning the end of the road. So it's the beginning or the end of the park, depending on which part of the park you're in. Okay, so it's within the park range. The actual start is before the Witch's Tower. So this is at least a mile and a half down the way. Okay, so I am faced with getting past the easy and the hard path for the first time in my life, and I'm asking myself, what is stopping me from going further? Right? Why am I stopping here? Why don't I feel like I have any other choices than an easy or a hard path, right? And in my mind, I'm thinking to myself, I need to cut through the bullshit. All my anxiety, all of my fear, all the things that keep stopping me from finding some new way of doing it. I've done it my whole life, but I really haven't applied it in my life a whole lot at this point, right? I mean, I did want to become a unison, and I was working on becoming that one person, that one whole being. That's why I called myself Unison, because Unison was a direct name saying that I had to bring two halves of who I was together to be a whole person. And a lot of my youth was spent dealing with that and coming to terms with that. Now that I'm an adult and I'm starting to learn new adult lessons, now I'm learning that the choices and changes that are in front of me right now are ones that can be one that are awakening within me every single day. And I reach the end of that hard and easy path, and I say to myself, why not just go see what's at the end of the road? I mean, how long could it possibly be anyway, right? And it wasn't that long of an end of a road. I mean, I could see where the road ended. It wasn't that far down the road. It was a nice day. Now, I went back the next day. So this happened within about 5 days, okay? You know, I learned the lesson. One day I learned a lesson. This is the day I learned this lesson. And this was a whole day lesson, okay? So this was one whole day of me learning this lesson. right? Because I realized that if I cut through my anxiety, if I cut through my fear, and I walked down a road that I didn't know where it went to, I could find something beautiful. And that's exactly what happened. I walked past that safe road that was already pre planned for me, that I knew where it went to. I was faced with a new road, one I've never been down, one I'd never know where it's going to go, right? But it wasn't really easy or hard because it was stuck in the middle of the forest. It was surrounded by a bunch of trees and houses and stuff. I wanted to be quiet and respectful of people, so I walked down the end of the thing being quiet and respectful in a neighborhood where people would be sleeping and stuff like that. Okay? And then I said to myself, but I still want to see what that's at the end of this damn fucking, path here. So a little bit of the hard path was in play. I was determined to see what was on the other side of the rainbow or what was at the end of this path, right? Then I'm sitting here saying, but I've got to take it one step at a time here. And like I said, it's not a long journey from the end of the path to where this begins, right? About maybe a quarter of a mile, maybe less than that. And I'm walking towards this part of the path where I start to walk onto this paved road for cars where it's in the neighborhood. You know what I'm talking about. And I start walking towards what is the beginning of that street because where I'm at is the end of the street because that's where the park begins, okay? So I'm walking down this road, and at the end of this road, there is a grove, and I mean a grove of willow trees. And if you know what willow trees mean to me, you know that that's a big magical sign for me. Now, I will explain the willow card because that's coming up later a little bit here, but because it's important to this journey and a part of the story a little bit too as well. But willow trees have always been a very big thing for me. Underneath the willow tree when I was 8 years old, that's where I received the dream. Bunnies are important to me because bunnies were underneath the willow tree with me when I woke up. Okay, it's a cute story. You'd love it. All right. Thank you for the lurk, by the way, OTC TV. And as I start to realize that I have to take both an easy path by making a choice to make small steps along the way, but still be determined to get to where I'm going. That's where the unseen path is truly born. But it's not until I get to a little grove that's around the corner from where the path that street ends. There's a nice little pond over there where this dock is. Okay? And I shit you not. The very first time I'm there, there is a pile of reeds in front of this thing where no one seems to be walking down or walking onto it any longer. It's kind of a forgotten little thing. It's like people don't go down this thing very often. So, of course, I'm in full tilt, I've got to make things happen mode. So I'm sitting out there cutting through the actual reeds to get to the end of this dock. So when I talk about cutting through the bullshit and finding your unseen path, because once I cut through the reeds, I saw where this would lead me. To a place of beauty, to a place where I could finally find peace and happiness again. That was the end of the road there, but I had to take an unseen path to get there. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know. I forged my own path forward. So now you understand where the unseen path comes from. Now we're on to the last part of the story here, guys, and this is where it gets a little bit fun and a little bit weird at the same time because these cards, some of these cards are in the actual reading portion of it, and one of these cards is not. So we're going to start with the willow card first. Willow trees have been an important part of my journey since I was 8 years old. I think it's important for me to tell you a little bit of the story right now. When I was 8 years old, I was being abused by a babysitter for about a year and a half. Her name was Susan. I've already confronted her. We already reported her. I never had to go back to her ever again because I had that class where it was do not touch, bad touch, good touch kind of a class where they were starting to finally talk about abuse by adults to children and pedophiles and people going out of their way to do such icky things to kids. Okay. So, I finally realized that the game I thought I was playing, and I thought it was a game, was wrong the entire time we were playing with it. I was told to sit in a closet, and all I had to do was watch her play her game with another kid on the bed. If I didn't watch, I would have to take a turn and play the game. So I sat in the closet and I watched other kids being abused. 90% of the time, I think that's what happened. No, I'll take that back. 80% of the time, I think that's what happened. I was too scared. But there were some times when it was my little brother, or some time when I couldn't take watching them do it, where I switched spots with them and I was the one being played with rather than them being played with, you know. And when I reported this person for the first time, because I finally learned that what was being done to me was bad, I felt the sense of, oh, I've been doing a bad thing all of this time. I've been doing something wrong all this time. It's my fault, kind of thinking in my head and stuff like that, right? And I run away from home because I get home from school. I tell my mom all of this stuff. Actually, the teacher calls my mom. My mom comes picks me up from school, and we go and confront. She goes and confronts the babysitter. I tell you, she lit that woman on fire, and I don't mean literal fire, but you know what I'm saying. She lit her on fire. I never had to go back to her ever again. She was arrested. She was taken care of. I did find her when I was 16 years old and confront her and yell at her, scream at her, forgive her, and moved on with the rest of my life. That's about the end of that story there. But when I get to the end of this path that I am on now, I get home, right? And I'm dealing with all of these feelings inside of myself that I knew were right all along. This is where I start to learn to trust myself a little bit and trust that the feelings that I am having inside mean something, because I don't understand if I have something within me at this point. I don't understand that I do have a psychicness that hasn't awakened yet. Then I run away from home, or okay, I escaped the pain, because it wasn't a true runaway. It was more of a, I needed to escape the pain of what I had just been through. Even my mom understood that at the time. So I bust out of the house. I go into the cornfield. I run about a whole row of corn, about an acre and a half of corn, about one row of corn I utterly destroy. So I don't think I took his entire crop out or anything like that. But I took out my anger and pain out on those poor, helpless corn. Hey, for the corn that I destroyed once upon a time. Thank you. And as I'm walking towards the top of the hill where this acreage ends, because there's a farmer who lives on the back end of the trailer court where we lived in, because we live in a little valley, and there's farms all around us at this point. So we live in farm country. At least it was farm country back then. It's not so much anymore, but it was. And when I finally get to the top of this hill, I see a willow tree in the distance. Now, I'm just a kid. I'm just trying to find a place to go sit down and have a place to rest my back at this point, okay? That's all I'm thinking of. I'm tired. I want to go lay down. I start to sit down. And as I'm sitting down, I think I cocked my head just a tiny bit. Not enough for a concussion, but definitely enough to kind of get the ball rolling, as I like to say. That was kind of my conk in the awakening moment, because something happened when my head hit that willow tree. It's like the psychic part of my brain went, ding, Friday. You know what I'm saying? And I guess the universe decided it was time for me to start to get the messages I needed to get, because I fall asleep under said tree, right? And underneath this tree, I received the world's best, most positive dream I've ever had in my life. It is the story of me becoming the unknown prophet. Now, I escaped my abuse. I escaped my bullies. I escaped all of the pain from what I've been feeling up to this point. And under this willow tree, I have the dream that tells me about who I will become someday, and all the signs that I will have to see along the way, and how much I will have to get through before I get there. Now, being a little kid, I think it's not going to take that long. I'm 50 now and just starting to end that process and start to begin the new process, okay? So, in that dream, I was promised a lot of very, very unique things. I can tell you, all but maybe 2 of those things have come true up to this point, and there's only really 2 left that have really not come to full tell kitty yet, but one has kind of completed this last goal where we got the house fixed and stuff. I'm considering that my windfall that I've been waiting for, okay? And underneath this willow tree, I received the dream that tells me about the future, right? The future that changes my life forever. I believe in this dream more than I believe in anything in my life. It has been my all-encompassing compass. It has been the thing that has driven me forward and moving me forward. I believed in a silly ass dream I had when I was an 8-year-old boy about a man telling me about what I would become. I will meet a one true love. I will live a happy life. I will live in a house and own my house. I will have kids. The kids things didn't happen. It won't happen because we both aren't capable of having kids. And yes, we did think about adopting, but we were financially able to do so. Because we didn't want to bring kids into our life where we couldn't afford to pay for them. You know what I'm saying? And we weren't trying to be welfare parents, okay? And and in that lesson, in that moment, I learned to believe in the dream, to believe in that I did have a destiny, that I did have a fate, but I still had to carve that into being. They gave me the map, I had to follow it, okay? And then we get to the last part of the lesson that we need to tell you today. Okay? So, when I finally get to a point where I have gone home from the unseen path for the first time, now this is the last lesson I learned. So, I think it was about 3 days when this all happened. I found the unseen path. I went home. I went back out to see it once again. And then I have this awakening moment. So, it was about a 3-day process, to be honest with you, okay? So, and then that third day, I learned the last half of this lesson, okay? And I've had to learn this lesson first. There is another path beyond the hard path that's not the unseen path, right? There is another paved path in the park, just like this. It's very paved. It goes past the easy part. But the reason I call this my leap of faith card is because I was scared to go down this path because it went further than I had wanted to ever go in this forest. I had to take a leap of faith and trust that my intuition was leading me to a place I needed to go. Now, at the end of this path is just a lot of forest and a lot of train tracks and a lot of things that really I didn't really need to know or that were at the end of it. But I trusted myself enough to take the chance. There was a beautiful garden on their way to the end of this path. It was a journey like I saw in Stand By Me and the Goonies and all of that stuff. I created my own adventure game. I created my own map to the treasure. I made sure that I got to understand that if I kept letting my fate and my faith and my fears and my anxieties get to me, that if I couldn't take a running, jumping leaf off of the cliff and trust that my Lord and Lady or the higher power I believe in isn't going to let me fail, they're already preparing me to succeed. But they need me to take the action in order to make that happen. And that's all about an action card. It's about what action do you need to take in order for you to move on and move forward in your life. And then I thought to myself, but you know what? Sometimes I just don't want to worry about it. I didn't want to have a plan all of the time. I didn't really want to worry about when I was going home or anything like that, right? A wandering path is basically just a little bit further past this path here, okay? And it is a winding kind of a path past that, right? And it takes a while to get to the end of it. So you kind of got to take it at a slower pace. A wandering path is all about you enjoying the journey as you're traveling along, enjoying every step, one step at a time. You're not being concerned with, oh, we have an ad. Pausing for an ad break. I'm waiting for the ad to stop. Hi, ads. Hey, you don't want to have ads? Become a subscriber or buy the turbo. Okay? Hey, you guys don't ever see ads ever again? Go buy the turbo. If you guys don't want to see the ads playing, become a subscriber. That way you don't have to see the ads. But I do try to make them as minimal as possible here. Okay, guys? So the wandering path, we've gotten through the leap of faith card, right? I had to take a leap of faith. I had to overcome my fear to get to the place that was beautiful because it was. It was a garden past that place. It was fields of wildflowers. It was so beautiful. It was so peaceful. It was so serene. And if I hadn't taken that giant leap off of that cliff or that path and trusted that it led somewhere good, I would have never seen that. So that's why I learned that hard path. Now we're on to the wandering path where now I'm really looking at my life and I'm saying to myself, you know what? I can't always have a plan. Sometimes I just got to go live life and see where it takes me. Sometimes I've got to take one step at a time and not worry about where it's going to take me, how it's going to take me, which direction it's going to take me. Sometimes I just need to go experience it. So while wandering path is all about those things I haven't experienced yet or have yet to experience, right? And then the last and final card and the end of our story is now coming to an end. Okay? So, on this day, the most important lesson I have ever learned in my life. Because I am done with this park for right now. I spent 3 days investigating it, having the most amazing spiritual journey that I have ever had in my life, telling me about choice and change and what I actually have right in front of me. For the first time in my life, I discover that I can go home. I can find home within myself, that I have to build it, that I have to create it, that I have to build it from the ground up. What makes a good foundation of my life? What makes that foundation safe? How do I protect that from the outside world? Am I making a new cage, or am I making a place where I can go in and out of at leisure whenever I feel like I want to? When I'm ready to explore, I leave. When I need to come rest and recoup and get my spoons back and do all the things that I need to do, okay then, that's what I need to do. But it's finally time for me to go home. And it stuck in my head that I finally had to find this home within myself, that I had to carry the lessons that I had just learned, brand new lessons of life that I had never really thought about before, that I had really never discovered before, you know? And I found that if I built this home within myself, and it took a long time to build this home, that's my journey. That's my story. That's what it took for me to get through. Without me finding out what was going to damage my home, I couldn't have made those walls stronger. Without me being able to accept myself for who I am as a person and set a clear foundation of what that meant for me, and accept that for who I was, and accept that my destiny was already available for me, I just had to make it happen, that they were giving me the ideas, that they were giving me the way to do it. I still had to live it. I still had to breathe it. I still had to experience it, right? I had to find this home feeling within myself. So ask yourself, when you go home after a long day's hard work and you know you can relax finally, you can take off the clothes, you can strip yourself clean, you can crawl into bed if you want, you can go make yourself dinner, you can go have yourself a nice little gaming time, whatever makes your day better, okay? But it wasn't until I found out or discovered that I had to build the home within myself, and I had to carry that home with me in order to move forward with my life. And it took a while to build that home, but once I did, now I live in a healthy, beautiful life that I love, that I am absolutely brilliantly beautiful and ready to. Now, even after I've learned this lesson, this 5 paths lesson, this journey that I was just on, that I took you on, guys, right? And I'm going to open the queue right now. First come, first serve gets a journey layout. I'm going to give you, to the count of 10, the first one who gets in here gets it. And we're going to do a journey layout for somebody today, okay? So going once, going twice, go, 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 go. Get in there now. First come, first serve journey layout while I shuffle and prepare the cards for you. So first person in here gets a journey layout reading. And we just went down all of the cards, so you should understand what journey I'm about to take you on. So because I want to do that, and then the last hour we will go through all of the cards and just show them off a little bit. Tell you about my one-of-a-kind collector's item that I'm creating for all of you. And then we're going to go find someone beautiful to raid out to and show them some love today. So, hey, Swift Sticks. You are the winner of the Journey layout reading, we're actually just going to close the queue right now because that was just whoever got in there first got it. And I'm going to keep shuffling for a bit because I want to really randomize these cards for you. And get this so that those cards that I just got done putting in there that I had all together don't get anything, you don't get those cards all in a row or something by mistake. And I want to make sure these are really randomed here. So as you can see, I randomize the cards every once in a while just to randomize them. And then we're going to shuffle and clear them off too. So throw me your numbers, Swift Sticks. Throw me your numbers, Swifty. Throw me what numbers? 1 through 10, still same thing applies. 1 through 10, 1 through 52. Only there are no God cards during this reading. This whole thing is a God card. Now, I hope I don't have to explain to you exactly how this reading works. But we're going to go on that journey there where I'm going to reveal each and every path that you are on right now. This is the most extensive reading I can give. I do this privately for anybody for $20 for about an hour and a half. So if you guys ever want a journey layout reading, contact me via my Discord, my Calendarly app, or go find anything on my social pages and sign up for that. They are $20 for an hour and a half of me doing a tarot reading for you, okay? And that includes me connecting with spirits and all those other stuff you might want. You get to ask any question you want of your reading. We go slow, we go steady, and if you have questions along the way, we stop and talk about those things. We take you on the journey you are deserving to have. So once Swift Sticks gives me his numbers, I'm going to keep shuffling until he says, gives me numbers. So Swift, give me your numbers, and then we'll do a journey layout for you. So we're going to wait till Swift Sticks give me their numbers. And like I said, this is the most intense reading I can give anybody. And these are available offline here for $20 an hour. Like I said, if you guys want to contact me, go check out my socials. So, Swifty, where are you, buddy? You get 3 chances, and then I'm reopening the queue for somebody new. 1, first call, first serve. Swifty, this is your first call. Swift Sticks, this is your first call. Please give me your numbers. Okay, I'm going to open up the queue again. Opening the queue. Anybody who enters now will get the first in line. So go ahead. If somebody else wants to get second in line, enter now. Because if he doesn't answer in 3 calls, I'm going to move on. So this is your first official call, Swifty. Oh, you know what? My chat bot has frozen. You might have said something and I didn't even see it. Oh, I'm so sorry, Swifty. You know what? My chat paused and I didn't see you were putting stuff in there. Okay, we're closing it back up here. Oops, my bad. So, intuition is so real. I get you. Doc Tony, you missed it by the skin of your teeth. Haha. That's okay. We didn't read. Whoa, join. Let someone else if they come through. I'm always here. LOL. Hey, Swifty, I'm here, but can I have it? Well, that's up to Swiftsticks. Swiftsticks, do you want to give it to HTC? I'm gonna wait here to see if that's what they want to do here real quick because I just saw I caught up on chat a little bit here. So I'm just double checking because Swiftsticks is first in line. Do you want to give your reading to HTC or do you want to keep it for yourself? What do you want to do? Because Swift says I could use one. And you said before, if somebody else wants to go, they can go. So I'm checking in. Okay, TC, it's yours. Guess what? You won the Journey Layout reading live on air. So you get a journey layout right now if you want it there. You can, if you say no this one time, I'm going right back to doing Swifties. You have to claim this one. Give me your numbers. And we're going to have our talk later today anyway, so. Anyway, so I get personals. Yeah, you get personals. I know you do. We all get personals here with you. Yeah. Well, like I said, I know you do. Don't feel bad. He's offering it up. Accept the abundance you are receiving, TC. Take the win. This is your last chance to claim it. Give me your numbers or I'm going back to Swifty. All right, there we go. See, he's even saying that the energies are telling him to let you have it right now. So you might actually need this. So here are your 3 official shuffles. This is the journey layout reading, guys. 1, 2, 3. And there are no God cards this time. But that first card that comes off is your Wandering Path card. Then we go the 11th number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and the 11th card is now on top. Now, we always pull the very first card after your reading. So after the 3 shuffles, that first one that's on top is your Wandering Path card. So now we go with your past path, your waiting path, your unseen path, your easy, your hard, your unseen, your home, and your fear. Or I know which ones they are. I'm having a brain fart day. Past path, waiting path, unseen path, hard path, easy path, leap of faith, and home. Okay? We're going to go through them all one by one anyway, okay? So when you are ready, remind yourself that this is all one God card message today, and I'm not holding back for you there, okay? You're ready? You say ready. I want to make a couple smokes here. And then I'm going to put the card... We will show these off here. That will be the last thing we do. I'm just going to put them in the pouch so they don't run away on me. Run away now. Go, dear God. Run while you can. Okay. Bye, guys. I guess that's it for us today. Anyway. All right. I know you're ready, but we're going anyway. Whether you're ready or not, we're going. So, what do I need to tell you about your past path? And the thing that you need to remind yourself is, right now, at where you're at in your journey, it's time to trust that ancient knowledge that they've been beaming into you. That download stuff that they've been giving you. Everything that you've gotten up to this point has been that big ass psychic message that we weren't very aware of at first. That was kind of awakening within us, learning how to trust those intuitions, learning to trust those feelings. And I know you're doing this already. You're starting to do this better and better. They're just saying that they recognize that you finally have started to listen, that past that you've been through up to this point made you become the person who has the abilities to do what they're doing now. And now you have to just open your eyes up and look for the signs that guide you towards the right path that will help you live the best, most positive life you can live. Now you have to start to listen to your guides. Now you have to start to listen to your higher power. Now you have to listen to that inner knowledge that you've gained up to this point. And as you start to begin this next step going forward. So what do you need to do to start taking a giant leap forward? It's time to start to trust those intuitions. It's time to start to trust those feelings. It's time to look for the signs and say, oh, you know what? That movie really resonated with me and it really moved me in such a way. Why can't I see that as the sign from God? We think signs come in this nice little, here you go. Here's your sign. I wanted to deliver it to you today. Okay? That's not how it works, people. Okay? I'm sorry. I wish it worked like that. But you know what they do? They give you these little thoughts in your head, and then you start to think about those little thoughts, and then those little thoughts turn into bigger thoughts, and then those bigger thoughts enter your conscious mind, and then your conscious mind goes, oh, wait, maybe I should do something about this. And now you are working towards going forward and taking that giant leap forward and trusting that you are taking your step in a direction you need to be going. Right. And then we have your waiting path. Hoofty, hoofty, my lady, what the heck? Wow, are you in a lot of indecision right now? I know you're at the tipping point. That's why today's conversation will be all that much more important later today. And I'm not going to tell you what we're going to do here. I'm going to let you know later what this is all about. But there's a little bit of a tie in with this card that I'll have to tell you about later. That's not a thing I want to share live, okay? I hope you understand. But what I do want to share with you, time. Yeah, good. I'm glad. Raven is. I wanted Raven to be here. Her daughter to be there too, because I need her help to do something with her daughter, because it's something that requires another person to be there to help with. And since I can't travel right there, you know, but remind yourself, your waiting path right now is just like my brother having to discover this lesson for the first time in his life, okay? There is a different brother figure you need to talk to today that will help you decide this. And this probably is me, but you know what? I'm saying there's also another brother figure on top of me that will help you with making some choices and decisions about where you want to take your path now. Because remember, the weight path is all about making a choice or a decision, okay? My brother made a choice. He made the worst choice he could ever make. He made the choice that got him into trouble. So are you making this choice out of fear, or are you making this choice out of love? Are you making this choice because it's what feels good or what is appropriate to happen in your life? Now, my brother didn't follow the rules. He got put into a place he couldn't get out of for a while, aka jail, aka the workhouse, whatever way you want to call it. He didn't go to jail. He went to mini jail. He didn't even really get that hard of a sentence for what he did, and he probably should have gotten the book thrown at him. Okay? I'm not proud of my brother for what he did, but it's his life. He made that mistake. He's going to have to live with it. I didn't do it. Not my mistake. Don't have to deal with it. But the important part of this is that you can't put yourself back into the same ugly old cage anymore. That old life is over. Completely over. You cannot live in that ugliness anymore. You cannot be trapped by it anymore. You are being released from this cage that you've put yourself in. The universe is saying it's time that we put you out of the cage. We're putting you out of your safety spot. We're putting you out of your warm, comfy, beautiful, safe space that you like to hide in. And it's time to put your ass out onto the fire and get you to move in a certain direction. Now, you can either keep living your life one way, which is the mundane way. You know how to live. You know what you're used to and all that. I know you've already accepted that. You know that you had to leave part of this old shit behind and release yourself from that cage like it was parole day. Yay, I'm free. Yay. And take back in the emotional power that's going to be rained on top of you, because now you allow these emotions to start flowing down on you, and you allow them to cleanse away all that which you have done or you think you have done wrong in this world. Now, my brother did this in a real world way. He got out. He had to obey certain rules and regulations because of what he did. Okay? Just like you are going to have to start to make your own rule book, that you're going to have to say, these are what I'm going to live by. These are what I'm going to stand by. This is my emotional, physical, mental, and spiritual compass. And I have to start to allow my emotions to be flowing freely so I can cleanse myself of any crap I have left, so it can go back into the ground and I can soak it up in a new, different way so it can help me grow rather than hurt me. Then I have to allow myself to take this new breath of air in my lungs. I just got out of a situation I didn't want myself to be in. Now I have to embrace life again. I can't go back to what I was doing. That's what got me here in the first place. I have to change my whole attitude around. The reason this picture is one of light and dark is because he had to learn how to release his emotions in new, healthier ways. He had to learn how to take in life one day at a time and live within the rules that he had set up for himself in order to start to live a more productive, happier life. Now, he did eventually start to do that. He started to turn his life around. While he was still in the place he couldn't get out of, he made a choice that he would never go back to that old crap ever again. That once he was out, he was staying out. And he wasn't going to do anything to make him ever want to go back there again. Because he knew the next time he was in there, he probably wasn't leaving. Alive, at least. You know what I'm saying? And just like you have to take in this new breath of life in your lungs and say, today is a good day to be alive. Today is the day I choose a new, better path. Today is the day I allow myself this emotional freedom to cry it out, laugh it out, yell it out, whatever I need to do to get it out. Now you're in this indecision portion of the journey, and now you have to say, which journey or where am I waiting around at and waiting in this moment? You choose the path you want. You paroled yourself. The universe has paroled you. Now you have to accept that. Now, we have a choice for you to make there, TC. Do you want to go down your hard path first, your easy path first, or your unseen path first? Emotes don't work. I need to know a hard, easy. You pick. No. No me picking. You pick. You have to choose. That's a part of the journey. Which one first? You get to see them all. I just want to know which one first. Go. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Left or right? 1, 2, 3. That way? 1, 2, 3. That way? Is that correct? Left or right? Say yes or no if that's the way you want me to do it. Okay, this way. 1, 2, 3. Okay, this one first. Easy, unseen, hard. Got you. Okay, we've got them all. So what is your hard path trying to tell you, right? So this is the hard path. So your first card is the hard path. Hard, unseen, easy. Okay? So, now what do you need to do to be more determined in your path? What do you have to start fighting for? What do you need to start to do more of in your personal journey? You know it. I know it. We have to get back to tending to ourselves a little bit. Yeah, I love the fact you want to help everybody. Yeah, I love the fact that you want to do more for others and want to spread your spirituality everywhere. But you know that there is still a little bit of tending we have to do to our own lives. Repositioning our coals around that fire so that they're more focused to what we are hoping to make happen in this world. You are trying to do this as much as you can right now. You're bringing the coals together. You're trying to find that balance of work or not work or finding work, play, raising a daughter, all these other things that we need to do. Check. Plus, I'm adding my own spiritual journey on top of it and dealing with my own crap. Well, guess what? All those coals can come together to focus one goal and dream that you have. You can focus it in to make it be something that will help you be more determined with what you need to do. And I know that you are working on it, but you need to be more determined. Heal thyself first. Put your own damn oxygen mask on first. Then go help others. Now, your unseen path. What the fuck? Do you know what this means? Hey, TC? Do you have any idea the shitstorm you are about to receive from me? Hell yeah. It is definitely time for you to find an unseen path. You got the unseen path in the exact position it's supposed to be. That means you need to listen to this message more than any lesson that I need to teach you right now. It's time to find an easy path and a hard path that can come together, and you need to start cutting through the bullshit and cutting through your own stuff and start forging your path forward of your own accord. They're saying step up to the plate and start carving your goddamn destiny into being because they're tired of trying to show you what to do. They need you to do it already. So Now it is time to find your unseen path. If you are wondering what path you should choose right now, you got the path in the path card. That usually means you're not doing this or you need to do this really, really badly. So, and my intuition is saying you're on the really needs to do it part. You have to find a way to combine these things into something that will mean something more than just an easy or just a hard path. You don't understand. It's time to cut through the bullshit, cut through the reeds. Maybe a little bit determined with it. Maybe you have to make a plan for it. The easy and the hard path coming together, cutting through your fears, anxieties, and things that you think are getting in your way. And then you find the beautiful thing at the end of the journey that you've been looking for. Are you sure you don't understand what I'm talking about here? Is it really that hard to do? Hey, Raven, go smack your mom in the head for me. No, don't do that. So what is your ha easy path, right? You are being given a gift from the gods. Do you understand how special you are? Do you understand? You don't really understand, do you, TC? You really don't get it, do you? You don't get the full scale of it yet. You really don't. And you know my Willow story. You know it better than most because it resonates with you. You had a life you didn't want. You had a lot of bullshit that happened to you you didn't want. All of these things that kept happening to you and kept happening to you and kept happening to you before we had our awakening, before we found all of those little answers we were looking for, when we were struggling, when we were trying to find out who we were as a person, right? And don't bullshit a bullshitter because you have to start to believe in the dream. You've had a dream. You have a dream. Believe in it. Manifest it. Make it into being. Believe in it so much that you're sitting here one day saying, I am HTC or Take Care, whichever the case may be. Your real name I'm not using, but you know what it is, K. Okay? And I have to start to believe in the dream. I have to start to listen to that message my higher power is sending me, telling me the destiny that's already waiting for me. All they're asking me to do is go out there and start to watch the signs. And when I see the signs, pay attention to the signs. Like I had to pay attention to the signs. It took me 35 years to become this man. 35 years. Talk about an easy, long, hard road. Okay? And the Willow card is basically saying it's time to embrace your destiny and start to carve it into being. Because it was the dream, yes, but it was me implementing it. It was me following the signs. It was me listening to my higher power or invisible voices in my head. You know? It was me paying attention to the world and what was happening in the world. The movie I watched, the song I heard on the radio, paying attention to everything and taking it for those unique moments when they really start to happen. Because there are and have always been signs in your life pointing you were always heading this direction. You just weren't ready to see them yet. And we'll get into that later. Now we have two choices to make. Can you handle making one more choice on your own? Do you want your right or your left one first? So do you want your home path or your leap of faith card next? Or left or right? Whichever one. Left. This one? The one my hand's on? Checking in? Okay. Then that is your home path. What do you need to bring within yourself or expel within yourself? Yeah, we're still having some trouble with this, aren't we, Hey TC? So you are trying to move the mirror. You are trying to move yourself into a new way of thinking. We've walked in shadow long enough. Now I challenge you to walk in the light. Now I challenge you to walk in the brightness and soak the brightness and be the brightness and let the darkness fight its way towards you. It's time. It's time for you to change how you see the world. That you may be a shadow walker but you walk in the light. A shadow is a reflection of that light. Without the light, we don't see the shadow, but the shadow has always been there. It wasn't until the light came that we could see the dark. It wasn't until we lived through the dark that we could see the light. You need to start to be the mirror. Stop looking at the unknown possibilities as negative and start seeing them as the unknown possibilities, and turn your ass around and start to find the light rather than the dark. Maybe we'd find that home feeling we've been searching for inside. What do you need to do with your past? Your leap of faith card is the literal past path. So it's time for you to really review your past victories and defeats and what shit you need to start taking a giant leap and leaving behind off of that cliff. Because you know what you need to do? You need to gather up all of that stuff you've been carrying around with you all the way up to that hill, like that boulder. You got the boulder up. Congratulations. It's up the hill. Woohoo. Great. We've won the war. You got the boulder up the hill. oh, great. I can't believe it. I got the stupid boulder up the hill. Oh, great. Okay, yeah, you're laughing at me now, but really what you haven't let go of is those past issues that you haven't let go of. And this is something we will definitely be talking about later, but you need to let go of the past so you can embrace a new future. What we will do today will help you with that. So just prepare a little bit for later, okay? And what is your last and final card? You have my wife's card, which is the Whale's Joy card on your wandering path. So what do you need to do on your wandering path, the thing you may not have discovered yet or thought about trying? Maybe you need to stop being a stubborn little woman and stop navigating around all the issues and problems and start swimming straight through them, because you're a big ass whale who has a pod who will support you and love you the entire way, and she will never stop supporting you because she's your daughter and she loves you. So God, what? You need to freaking goddamn. Hey, Prophet, is it normal to get the Magician card and the Devil card both together? Why not? The Magician is all about you manifesting your world, and the Devil's all about you coming to terms with that which you've done wrong in this world, or what you have to let go of as far as anger and hate. So why couldn't you manifest yourself to be a better person through the Devil? I mean, people think the devil's a bad thing. He's there to remind us that there are evil and bad things in this world we need to go through. So maybe you need to face those fears that you're afraid of. What you fear or is the devil in your mind. What is the devil in your mind? What do you consider your worst enemy? What do you consider that worst thing you could ever do to yourself in your life? Now, are you the magician who casts a spell to overcome that evil, or are you the one who accepts that evil being cast onto you? FYI for you there, Alka. So, I mean, that's my opinion of what those cards mean, okay? That's my opinion, okay? That's what I believe. The devil and the magician card are basically that. But let me get back to Hey TC's reading, because she definitely needs to hear it, because she is a little bit stubborn sometimes. She likes to stick in her own ways. Right, Raven? And sometimes she does spend way too much time being too stubborn and thinking that there isn't another answer out there for her. So she keeps trying to swim around all these other problems rather than saying, I'm the big ass whale. Get out of my way now. Get out. Yeah, I know. I'm just saying it to kind of, put it out there to the universe. She hears me in some way, shape, or form. Her psychic self is hearing all of this. Sorry. You're going to get it bad later when she gets home from school. No, it's okay. But, you need to be like my whale had to learn how to do. She had to learn how to navigate those seas, but she couldn't just navigate them. She had to come up for that fresh breath of air in her lungs, but not any breath of air, the joyful breath of air of life, the breath of life that says, thank you for letting me have this opportunity to help people. Thank you for letting me have a beautiful daughter. Thank you for letting me have a beautiful home. Thank you for letting me have this, and this, and finding the joy in your life. Rather than find the hurt, the pain, the anguish, get my coffee out. I need more coffee. It needs to be warmer.
Yes, I need more coffee.
Anybody else need some coffee out there? Okay, this is for my coffees. There you go, coffee, coffee, coffee. Oh, there we go, coffee. Oh, here you go. Nice cup of coffee for anyone who needs it. And you can buy this mug with Games with Snakes. Maybe available soon this Saturday. So
Yay, I got in early.
you got a one of a kind because it may be changing in design too. So just like you have to rediscover to come up for that fresh breath of air and find that joyfulness of life once again. And that's what my life had to do. She had to find the joy in her life again. She had to find a reason to come up for that new experience. Meeting me, trust me, it has not been an easy road meeting me. Yes, I'm the best husband in the world, but it took a while for us to get there.
Yep.
She's the best wife in the world, but it took some while for us to get there.
Yep.
We had to work on it. We still work on it. We still don't do it right. Okay? We still are ever evolving it. But I have to say, if I had to put my relationship against any of yours, I think my relationship would win most times, okay? Because we have a really healthy way of going about it. Now, do we do everything right? Fuck the hell no, we don't. Just like you on your wandering path have to rediscover that you don't have to have a plan to do this. You just have to live it, breathe it, become it. Find the joy within your life. Find a way to breach that surface floor so that when you do go back down into those problems, rather than you swimming around them, let them get out of your way for a change. Because boy, will they ever, once you start pushing your will and intent the right way. So to review, it is time for you to listen to the ancient knowledge of your past so that you can move forward. You must not put yourself back in the cage you've been putting yourself in up to this point. It is time to walk into a brilliant, new, beautiful world. You are ready to start to tend to yourself because you are ready to walk out of that cage, because you believe in the dream, because you believe in the destiny and fate that awaits you, that you know you will be guided to the right way. Follow the signs, they will lead you. Believe, believe, believe. It's time for you to find that unseen path within yourself and carve your own goddamn destiny and cut through the bullshit of what you think is getting in your way and just do it already. Look into the light, not into the dark. You are a child of light. You are not a child of dark. You may be a shadow walker, but you are a bright ass shadow walker. And if you deal with the past, high class hippies in the chat. If you deal with the past, you will overcome your fears. And then you will find the joy in your life and be able to finally find what you're looking for. And that is the journey layout. All right, high class hippies in the chat. We just finished with our reading for today. And like I said, this was always going to be a just chatting stream today, guys. And I know I've been spending a lot of time chatting and talking to you guys. We aren't doing any more readings for today, unfortunately. We'll be back to readings tomorrow. We'll go back to our normal reading schedule tomorrow. But today was a special day because I was not able to complete my goal of my Kickstarter campaign failed. So that is my first official news that I have failed. My Kickstarter campaign has failed. Now we go into the secondary plan. So from this point forward, any and all donations, bits, and or subscriptions go towards me making this a reality. I spent all the money I got from the government because we had a lot of things we needed to repair around the house. We went through the money fast because we had a lot of things to catch up. And we bought a lot of fun, good things too. So I'm going to say I enjoyed myself, but now we're back to normal budgeting now. And it's about $4,500 to print 150 decks. So I wasn't able to get funded through the Kickstarter campaign. I didn't have enough people who believed in my project. And I'm sorry that that happened. Stuff. Posture, check my ass. I've been sitting up straight in my butt. You know? Shit. No, I didn't do it. Arthur's like, wait a minute. I just fucked up the whole deck. I gotta randomly put these back in here now. And then tomorrow when I open up my decks. So, you don't know what that is, a posture check? Hey, lady! So here we are now to the conclusion of our stream, guys. We're going to end today by giving you guys a little bit of some announcements for you guys to hear and some things to learn about what's coming up for me and stuff like that. So, as of, and welcome in and thank you for the mention and hi, hello, how are you? Welcome to see you. So today's been a kind of a review of my tarot deck and why I got into it. If you guys want and missed any of the story and how that came up, there's your stretch. Okay, leave me alone, wifey. I'll make you one too. Troll.
Thank you.
Incoming cigarette. So here are my announcements for you guys today, okay? First of all, the Kickstarter campaign has failed. We have just made that announcement. So we are moving on to stage 2, which is me trying to raise the funds for everything to make this deck happen. Like I said, I went through the money that was sent. I probably should have spent it a little bit wiser, but honestly, I don't regret anything I spent it on. I think I got my money's worth. I waited for this moment a long time. Damn straight, I spent it how I wanted to spend it. And I helped a lot of you out too. So if you were one of the lucky people to get one of my gifts from me, either whether it was a 20 bomb or it was me just showing you some love, I did this because I respect you. If you got a gift sub for me in your channel, if you got a gift sub or an amount or a donation of any kind during this time, this was me saying thank you to the universe for what they gave me up to this point. So me giving to you is me saying thank you to the universe. I don't expect anything back in return for what I've done for you guys, other than I hope you use it wisely and pay it forward someday. That's all I can ask. Okay? And my second announcement is this. This is an exclusive, one-of-a-kind thing you can buy on my Patreon starting my wait, we'll do April 1st. How about we do April 1st? April 1st, April Fool's Day, okay? It won't be an April Fool's Day joke that day. Am I even on April Fool's Day? Damn straight I am. Okay, so on April Fool's Day, or Don't Be a Fool Day, we'll call it, you will have the ability to buy this for $150 plus shipping and handling, okay, guys? And I'm going to be putting this on my Patreon. So you have to be my Patreon member in order to even get a chance to buy this, okay? It will be first come, first served, okay? What I'm going to show you is and I don't expect this to ever sell, honestly, but what you will get is the following, okay? You will get me a homemade a certificate of authenticity made by me that authenticates what I'm giving you is true and accurate. There is a receipt of the original pages that were presented by Office Max, and the dates and times of when that happened are all on there for you. I've signed it, I've dated it, and did a 1 through 30 of all of the pages that are on here. Okay? So now you have a collector's item. You have an authentic form. And then you have 30 pages or 32 pages of uncut, complete, total pages of the original deck on the original pages that have never seen the light of day since 2011. I'm signing them. I'm dating them. I'm making sure they all say 1 through this so you know you're getting the complete set. Then you get the original book from my 5 Paths Tarot, and you get an original art card, the only one that will say, today, may you have the best day ever. My slogan of the stream, may you have the best day ever. This was the only one that will say this, guys. So if you want this one out of 10 cards that I will be giving away, want that? It's all on there. See, it's all dated. It's all signed, everything. You will get that too. And in the future, and in the future, you will get a 5 Paths Tarot once it's completed and published and printed. The new deck, not the old deck. So, That's what we are going to be selling for about $150. I'm going to get some frames and things that look good for it and make it look professional and stuff like that. Or maybe I'll bring it to someone and say, hey, make this look professional like a collectible item. You know, and maybe I'll have the pages laminated or something. I don't know. You guys tell me, and we'll be working on it slowly in the future. So I will be selling that sometime in the future if you're interested in that. I'm toying between either giving it away or selling it. Okay, right now I'm on the selling it part, but you know me and giving away things. And then now, instead of 5 cards that will be given away, once I get this deck done, I'm going to give away all 10 cards, guys, of the original deck that I don't need in my normal readings. 1 out of 10 deck. I'm going to be giving these cards away live online to people. There are some people automatically going to get some of these cards. They'll have to play the choose your. Hey, high class, are you still here? High class, pick a number 1 through 10. Hey, TC, pick a number 1 through 10. If you're still lurking and still watching out there, okay? I'll put that in my Discord, guys. Hey, high class, pick a number 1 through 10 right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is your card that you have won for me. When I finally print my deck out, you have gotten this card. I am signing it right now. And how would you like me to sign this, high class hippie? Would you like a personal message? Would you like me to use high class hippie? Would you like me to use your real name? What would you like? Do dee do dee do dee do do dee do dee do 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 dee do dee do dee do dee do dee do 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 do. All right. Who do you want me to write that to? High class hippie, or do you want me to write it to a real name? You can DM me if you want. And I'll have to open it so I can actually see my messages. Oh, here we go. I got it open. So if you want to DM me your real name, I forgot it. I'm sorry. I'm a brain farted dude. Or if you want me to just say high class hippie. High class hippie or real name. I'm waiting for a whisper or something. Okay. Hey, be safe driving. Drive safely. I'll DM you. Okay. This is your card. Once you tell me what you want, we'll put that in the part. Okay? You now won that. TC, are you still with me? Pick a number. You get your card picked right now if you want to. I have to take that off. My Kickstarter campaign has died, so I have to take that message off today. But so ignore that message that just came across the screen. But I'm gonna put an H on here, just so I can say this is high class hippies card. So you get the H. So you automatically get an H on your card. Now I know which one's yours. Okay, so I just had it a second ago. My rubber band. So now these will go back into the whole annals, and then once I get them fully printed out, guys, because it will take a little bit longer now because I have to store up that money and stuff like that. Okay, so. High Class Hippie already got a deck for me. She was already promised a deck. So was Tansy, Games with Snakes. Those 3 people. If you reach out to me and tell me what you want on your card, I will be happy to give it to you guys, okay? And I believe there might be one other person, but then the rest of them will be given away on a random basis. They'll be given away for when I give away a deck or something, because most likely what will happen is Patreon will get a deck given away for the giveaway that I'm doing. And then we'll do a giveaway on Patreon, do a giveaway on Twitch, So those will be 2 cards we give away. There'll be a in stream where when we actually get it published, we'll do a giveaway that day where we'll have a celebration that we're publishing the deck. Then we'll have one given away maybe to another friend who I'm not thinking of at this moment because my brain's fried. Because I spent a lot of time talking today. I didn't do a whole lot of reading shit today. Jessa. Sorry, Jessa. Jessa, you get one. So if you're listening, please send me a DM. You get a deck automatically. Thank you, Beth. I knew there was one person. I have my notebook around here somewhere that tells me who I'm giving it to. So a couple people have just had such an impact in my life that I want to give them their deck free without paying for it. So we got Jessa, Mercy, High Class, Tansy.
Games.
I know. Games. And the last one is
TC.
Yeah, TC. That was it. TC. Okay, that's 6 cards already gone. And now then I have 3 more after that. So there you go. So you just heard. Patreon will get one. Online will get one. And then one person who will just win a giveaway from something I will do later or something like that. Or I'll just give away the last one out of the whole thingy. I'm going to keep one for myself too, so of course. Got to have the new deck too, you know. That's all published for me and everything, you know. Got to have at least one copy. I'll always have the original deck. I'll always use the original deck. But it will be nice to have that nice one, sealed one for a collector's item someday. Won't it there? And I'll make that the most personal one to me possible so that someone who gets that one someday will get the ultimate. That would probably be the one I do with the giveaway with all that stuff. So that is my major announcements for today, guys. That's what we were here to do. I want to say thank you guys for supporting me along my journey. It took every last one of you to get me where I am today. Like I said, I'm not a professional streamer here. I do this because I'm bored. I do this because I feel like I want to be a man of service because I am a minister. I am a priest. I am a witch. And I do this to help people because that's what I feel I'm here to do. So tomorrow we will return back to our normally reading schedule. So we will do readings tomorrow. We only did one today, but that was for a very specific reason because we were going over. I didn't even get to go over all the cards with you today. So maybe another stream we'll go over and go through all of the cards on another stream. But now I've got to go see who's out there in the universe. Let's see who we can raid today. Oh, you little bastard. So let me see who's online right now. Well, I'm banned on that channel, so I can't go there. All right, let's see. Ooh, you know what? I think I want to keep the vibe going with the whole, keeping it nice and calm and stuff, but we're not going to do that. We're going to go watch one of my favorite gamers out there. Her name is the Gaming NP. She is a brilliant, beautiful woman. She is a fun, friendly vibe. She's a variety game streamer. She plays a lot of games that are real world online games like Starfield, like your Dead by Daylights, you know, those kind of action adventure games. She has a very expressive way of doing it in her games. She will make you laugh. She will make you smile. In fact, we're going to shout her out real quick. And we're going to go say hi to one of my good friends since I don't see anybody else. I was thinking maybe we should take you to another tarot reader, but I kind of feel we need her energy today and just, you know, be part of her stream. So we're going to get out of here and go say hi to the Gaming NP. Here we go with the shout out first. So this is where we're going to go. I truly appreciate every last one of you. I will be back with my normal readings tomorrow. And we'll go back to doing what we're here to do. So I will see you guys then. Love you. Have a great day.